the side that usually impresses if we get to see all the tricks that they can implement. I'm aware of some of them, but whether they'll feel or whether they deem it necessary, that becomes an entirely different conversation. Dignitas do invest in some utility. They've got a smoke and a flash on Freiburg, but no kits, no flashes, no smokes or anything for ESPADA. Just armor and pistols. They want to take these fights straight up.
Like this. Blocks. You usually see them just kind of spam the bullets, hope for the best instead of going for those calm and collective shots to the head that you usually see with the USPS. Set the odds from our betting partners over at LootBet. You can see they are indeed favouring ESPADA in this as well. So I'd heavily you look into it a little bit more as well. Right, he's going to be able to open up the round though, and shows that, well, even with odds against him, happy to pick up a couple of frags here. Right picked up one of his own as well. Stop it now, going to be a solo defending player over on the A side. You see this rotate coming on through. Demon from behind. Stop it taken down as he's holding back by Armored, and now Finnegan, hello, taking down Right, leaving Forest in a 1 versus 2. This P250, it's going to start running out of ammo soon if he isn't able to find some kills, but that's a clean one onto Dima. Now 100 HP on both sides. Finnegan looking for that 4K that we know he can get on these pistol rounds, but Forest never cut him out of a round. Only a few seconds remaining, but still clutches it out with that ball up pistol. The first round goes to Dignitas, but it gets taken down to a 1v1.
Yeah, what an effort there from Forrest to win the 1v2, but Finnegan makes it really, really interesting. The fact he finds two initially on the site take, and then he found the wrapping player as well. So close for being the ESPADA hero, but Dignitas keep that edge. They have Forrest, a man that is proficient on the pistols. Has a bit of a reputation. And so he lives up to it. ESPADA, though, they force into it. They get the scout out on Dexter. They have pistols across the board. Dignitas are just hoping to get some space with these SMGs so that the rifles can operate. A nice slow default, but one in which they still garner a bit of control for themselves. Sometimes teams will curdle up or play such a passive default that it allows the CT side to get into these more aggressive angles. Dignitas aren't playing any games like that.
I like ESPADA going for that boost there, just see if they can get any information above the smoke. Doesn't work out in their favour, but, well, Forrest uses the smoke to his, though. Takes down Dexter. Now in a 4 versus 5, just spam from behind. Patsy had no idea a player lurked all the way through toilets. And that now punishes ESPADA, right? Full armor on Dima, half on Finnegan. They've got a bit of utility as well, and 2 Deagles. They're running for the hills. They're going to be saving this one, allowing Dignitas to get the bomb planted. Hoping that they don't get hunted down, but I don't really see any reason for Dignitas to hunt this down. I mean, they could, but there's not going to be any fallback money if it goes wrong.
Yeah, there's no real incentive to hunt these players down.
At the end of the day, how damaging are 2 Deagles going to be in the next round when no one else is going to follow around it?
Oh, you've just gone and jinxed it. Dima ace next round.
Confirmed. Do you want to see if I jinx it? I'd love to see it, so I've got no complaints about that one.
You can get a few angry messages from Dignitas fans.
Why you jinx the round?
Why did you have to jinx the round, man? Good timing and good spacing, taking up from Dignitas to make that anti-eco a done deal.
Yes, really. It's 2-0. Not going well for you, buddy. Pistol buy-up is not going to happen. It's still going to be Dima and Finnegan on those Deagles. Everyone else down on the pistols they spawn with. Dima gets got down to 6 HP before he can even get any trade damage back down range. And this triple stack outside, I'm surprised that Finnegan's even taking this up close. Patsy finds, well, it's Sophic, he finds the frag, but Patsy's there with the PT-50 to help out. They've left the B-bomb site completely open. Bomb's going to go down. It's going to be a tough retake for ESPADA. No kit available, and if they want to make a push, they need to make it quick. Smoke goes down to be able to block out heaven, so no long range 1D is going to be possible. Dexter's recovered himself a Mach 10, so I think he might just save this as well.
Yeah, all the players with armor are dead, so I mean, just try and get some exits. That's.
I mean, they can get that AK.
Yep. Go Sophic, go!
Run,
Get out of there!
the hills. There we go. You know what? ESPADA can see that as a bit of a win. They've taken a Mach 10 and an AK through to the next round. It saves their economy just a little bit. bo3 does take down Patsy, but of course he only had that deagle, so it's nothing too major and not too upset. They're hurting the economy of Dignitas in the process by taking down Forest and Get Right. They're still going to have a buy for next round, even if they lose this, but it does mean they have to force into this one. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Forest just picking up an AWP and dropping it over. But instead, it's going to be an AK.
Yeah, no surprises that Dexter throws away that Mach 10. Don't want to go into your first gun round with an SMG. I think Dignitas, of course, with the fact that they've won the past 3 rounds, they have that bonus now looming on the horizon. Dexter, oh, there's a lot of damage from the early spam. He's looking for a bit of short water control. The Get Right's done a lot to scare him off. I don't think he'll want to commit to these fights all too heavily. In fact, he's actually prepping himself for the nade through door, see if he can find a pick through the connector. Oh, with Finnegan, oh, he gets spammed down. Dexter, the shot missed as well. That is not ideal for ESPADA. That early control that they were able to get, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, Demo on the off angle. I think he's spotted from short. No, he hasn't. Interesting, but it's stopping to find the team frag. Spams down one coming on through Monster, but Forest is there to pick up the pieces. 1v1 now. Galil versus M4. Is he going to be available for bo3? Yeah, spotted him. Patsy should be able to easily close out the round, and he does indeed do so. Finds himself an AK to take through to the net. It's a nice 2k from him. And ESPADA build up a little bit of a buffer here. You're going to have to commit a lot into this, but they can shut down Dignitas. He's going to hinder their economy just a little bit more. Still a buy available for them, though, and it's going to be a late one. But we do see that full commitment now. AK's across the board with the exception of bo3. He's finally picked up his AWP. 5 rounds in and maybe 1 round too late, but can't be too upset.
Yep, falling back. I actually thought they were going to set up for the connector boost to peer in towards short, but instead playing the round out a little bit more passively. And while Dignitas, they'll take the space that's been given up to them. Over towards long, they'll progress. Exist still lurking towards connector. See ESPADA. They're really fighting for short control in all of these rounds, but Dignitas haven't been on the receiving end of it as of yet.
We might be able to find something here with Patsy. They go for the boost, they might be getting punished, but the AWP only connects into the leg. It doesn't actually find the frag. Freiburg punishes the player from recovering the weapon as Dexter, well, is able to trade one back. That's all too late. Demo and Finnegan now, last 2 guys remaining, with Finnegan getting taken down. Exist dropped low, the MP9 picking up 1 more kill, but peekaboo as you come out of that door. Oh, whoa! Okay, you can't be whipping those! Get right, yeah, rightfully so. Spam around, buddy, because you need to make sure you're crisp and clean on those shots. A single bullet between the shoulder blades is all that was needed, but he overcomplicated it, and he realised he made the mistake.
Yeah, he almost died because of that.
Get the... Yeah. I'm sorry, okay.
And the instant thing in response from Dima, he's like, wait a second.
We say that's Get Right, but that is fantastic movement from Dima as well. I'm sorry, but that bunny hop was clean.
Well, it doesn't quite go to plan for ESPADA. Dignitas are doing a good job of working the map slowly. ESPADA aren't really finding the production that they typically do on this CT side. Losing a lot of crucial duels. I mean, given the win rates, given this is ESPADA's map pick as well, Dignitas will be happy with how things have started, but will come down a lot to the finish. They are going towards the stack towards long. And actually, Freiburg meets the firing squad head on. Gets nothing really accomplished. An SMG subjected to their control, but that also means that B is very much vacant, and so Dignitas will move to secure it.
Their smokes go down pretty well to be able to block out water control as well, but there's not going to be anyone here. Yeah, smoke Kevin, just all the standard executes. The only thing they're going to be going up against is a Mac 10 on Dima. Everyone else has got pistols. Finnegan's got the Deagle though, so they might be able to find something. If they all just waterfall well, they might be able to pick up a couple of kills, but not going to be the case. Dima's rotating around from T-spawn. He's going to try and backstab at least one of these players. But other than that, no kit. No chance he secures this.
Oh, baby. Dima 1v4. Actually, almost lines up a backstab, but Get Right has him covered. And a nice and clean state of affairs. They only lose the SMG, but they'll be more than happy with that. Now we look towards Dexter. I think the problem for ESPADA is that quite often when they find themselves in a bit of turmoil, it's usually because they lose short water control. Yeah. And sometimes the response is for them to go for the connector boost on the steps where you can peer in towards the short tunnel. But Dignitas haven't been taking it from them. It has predominantly been them working towards the A extremities instead. And I don't think they really like to aggro that side of the map as intensely as they do towards B. Here comes the triple nade over towards the jump spot. There's nobody there for ESPADA, but look at the distance Exist has gone. Finnegan finds two, but Freiburg's there for the instant trade, and that's the B bomb site cracked wide open. Yeah, bomb now going to be going down, and all of that utility really just forcing ESPADA off the site. They can't push on through from underpass, and I will see the boost. Patsy looking for the head, at least one of these players. Freiburg, the timing is perfect to have to push deeper into water directly under heaven now, and here's the util being thrown. Gonna wait for this peak. Knows that Patsy's there, hits the headshot, looks for the second, but he's got so many angles to check, and he isn't able to take down Stoffek. Now Forrest, 1v2, AWP in hand. Oh, he knows the bomb's getting tabbed, but you're stabbing at the air, buddy. They're off the bomb. Be careful with this spray. Forrest, you need to hit the flick, but it's not going to happen. But is there enough time on the bomb to be able to get it defused? I think just with that kit. Only just. Yeah, I was getting a little close. A commendable effort, I suppose, from Forrest, just stabbing away at in the dark. But what's not a stab in the dark is our partners over at Hellcase, the biggest and most known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battle, upgrader, dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolutely unique features. You won't get bored with Hellcase, and you can use the promo code MaltaV15 to save more and grab what you deserve.
Oh, I've seen this before. I know what this is setting up for. Someone say a 4-man boost. Yes, they did. Full work.
Oh, wait, he sees it.
What? I've never seen someone counter it before and just spam the bullets there. That is an awesome read from Patsy. And it just forces the round to go completely differently. They know that at least another AWP's been brought up into this because you don't try that with any other weapon.
And they recognize as well that they can get more control towards A off the back of it. Have to commit so many resources to getting that boost to work, and Dexter, Finnegan, they're both prime with AWPs. ESPADA have read into the round as a result of identifying the boost, and Dignitas, they're 2 men down to start things off.
I can't think of a time where that boost has gone wrong. The only time it goes wrong is when someone slips off and they're not able to even hit a shot. But they were lined up ready to go, but the movement was perfect from Patsy just to be able to spam them off the angle. And look how much ground that's given them, right? You touched on it earlier, but oh, Finnegan. Great reaction to be able to take down Hulzerk, but this round is over for Dignitas. I very much doubt they even find a kill here, especially if Dexter is going to be able to... He can find something, no gap there, and oh, Finnegan! Oh my lord, man! 4K from him, but it was just the AWPs that did all the damage in that round. Dexter opened up with the initial one, but Finnegan didn't let anyone else have a chance.
I have to say, that round feels like it's won by the massive balls on Patsy.
Oh, 100%.
I can't believe he's peaking that with an M4. The only times yeah, exactly. Or maybe a scout, you know, when you're on a low buy, I don't know. But to take it with a rifle, that is ridiculous. And I think that has to shake Dignitas up a little bit. I mean, they lose that round because of the aggression that ESPADA implement. And now they're down to pistols.
don't really see them getting much with this either, because it is only Freiburg who's brought down onto the Deagle that's committed into this round. Dexter's still going to... Well, it's quite a passive angle, actually, considering what we've been seeing from ESPADA. Sprint boost again, most likely, or just the boost peak around the corner, but they fall off and they're not able to find an opening. Now the slow push through toilet. Smoke's there, and well, they're going to wait for their other two teammates, and the leg connected. Dexter finds one, but he is absolutely shot down by the firing squad that is these Glocks. Stoffik might fall as well if he's not able to find any more kills. Get right, Hulzerk. Okay, this round is winnable. Flash goes on over from Get Right onto the site, but shut down by Dima as he didn't have the weapon in hand. That quick trade onto Helzerk after he picks up the AWP kill. I mean, if he flicks round, finds one more kill, Dignitas secure that round. So very nice rotate from ESPADA to be able to ensure that that's not going to be the case. And because of that, we see Dignitas committing into a timeout right now, just to give them a second to work out what their next play is.
Good capitalization on Dexter's positioning as well. He wasn't quite positioned on the edge of the box, where that is really prime real estate if you're going to go for a peak like that, just so if Dignitas did push through the smoke, you'd be able to fall off instantly. But he was a little too deep into the angle. The Glocks tag him up and he just cannot escape. That's what makes that round so much more interesting. It's what allows the Dignitas players to make that even competitive. They're identifying, they're looking for these small tells that they can use later on as well. They're investigatory rounds. We'll see if they're the detectives or the victim. ESPADA looking to really recover the CT side after this good start from Dignitas. And it's surprising we get to see Finnegan on the AWP. Dexter's the primary AWP. We don't usually see a secondary in ESPADA's hands, but Finnegan is showing that he is more than capable of fitting into a system like that. Dignitas, they look to space towards A, and Patsies goes 1-for-1 to start things off. Wait, did Halsey just spam? He spammed him through short.
Okay, well, there's one way to turn the tide in your favor. Dima, Stoffik, and Finnegan now, last two guys remaining for ESPADA. We see the push out of Monster. The spam's now going to be coming on through. Dima on the off back. Sprays down one, sprays down two. Isn't able to get the third, but Stoffik is now in a 1 versus 2. And this round, it was realistically Dignitas' to win. Freiburg knows where he is, but the nade all the way from basically CT spawn. Sits down one more. 5-5 now. ESPADA, a triple AWP setup. Is that a misbuy? Surely that's a misbuy, right? There's no, that's a commitment.
Against pistols too?
They've read this wrong.
Yeah, I don't like this.
I mean, Dignitas have a pretty decent chance of coming back into this round if they can get up close and personal. Some of these weapons. Just play it slow. Wait to catch someone off guard, recover an AWP, and you have a chance. It's exactly like that. Same tick, same trade. Hulzerk now going to be blasting out onto the site. They know there's an AWP to be recovered, but instead they're happy to just continue using these pistols. The Tech 9 from Get Right's looking to jump on over to take down Dima, but Finnegan actually saved his teammate's life. Forrest finds one more, just a PT-50 from Freiburg directly on the site as Hulzerk rotates back, picks up that AWP, sees the bomb that's dropped directly in front of him, and well, there's a chance here. If Hulzerk can find a couple of these kills, then maybe they can win this round, but it's glass cannon at this stage.
Just rattling off AWP shots from heaven. He's smoked off. Hulzerk has an isolated duel. He misses the opportunity. Dima swings out, and they sweep it under the rug. Did they recover the third AWP? No. Okay, good. That round didn't feel like it should have been as competitive as that. They get smoked off heaven. Dexter's going for a solo peek through door with the AWP. That is
bit bold.
Yeah, it's not what I would traditionally say is how ESPADA play. Especially against pistols. That is a little silly. But they reconsider it. You know, they tried it for a round. They're like, okay, you know, maybe if one of you aces with the AWP against the pistols, we'll let you keep it.
That's the rules.
It's like, you know, you ace your exam, we'll take you out to the ice cream shop or something.
You have to ace your exam to get ice cream? You okay?
No, I'm just like I don't know. I've seen it in like American TV shows and.
Standard buy up for both sides right now. You see Dignitas fully committing into this one as well. Haven't fully decided where they want to go as of yet. They've got 3 players inside of Playground just waiting. Double flash there as well. One chucked out of the map, one chucked onto long as they begin their push. Freiburg taking charge. He's pressing the bomb with him in the first phase step. These are SPADA players, see if they begin pushing on through. Utility being popped should give up that this is going to be an A execute. We see one player rotating round from the B site way. Long gets smoked off. Still a chance for this rotate right now, but mid is under control from Patsy and Dexter. Freiburg can find an opening here that maybe there's a chance, but oh, okay, Patsy. Too many people to choose between and doesn't get any of them. Now he doesn't connect on to Get Right. Gun barrel spotted though. Dexter peeks the angle. Punish looking his first shot. Dima taken out of the round now, and Finnegan also. Very quick round there from Dignitas as the team ace finally occurs for them. 6-6. They bring this back level.
And you can see very much the style of play ESPADA are going for. As soon as one person takes a fight, everybody else is ready and rearing to go. That round collapses in on itself. Dignitas punish each of the peaks from ESPADA. But in another world, you know, you get the opening kill, suddenly you're getting shot in the back, next you're getting shot on the side. That seemed to be the plan. Just didn't quite see the execution.
Yeah. Not timing was slightly off. They peeked it together and then did it instead of just going one by one. But
also, nobody really won the fights, so...
Oh, exactly, and
that doesn't help.
Believe it or not, in Counter-Strike, you need to get the kills to win the game.
But what if I just mastermind the perfect strategy to make them stack the wrong site?
0 kills throughout the entire game. 16-0. You defuse the bomb or plant the bomb every single round.
Well, another buy from the CT side. They're actually getting a bit aggressive towards A long. They've been giving this up in quite a few rounds to Dignitas, going for, we saw a boost play later on into the rounds instead, trying to get opening picks. They work it together. 3 players committed to that position. Dexter's there with the AWP as well. He's now looking for a bit more real estate back towards the A site. Ooh, Patsy. Yeah, catches Freiburg off in a 1v1. The AK dropped, but not in a recoverable or safe enough position to get that into his hands. Dexter now has a lot of pressure mounting as the side execute comes in for Dignitas.
Not been smoked off yet. Oh, okay, eat my words. The smoke comes straight on through as I say that. And the site completely cut in half right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Forest jump all the way from Optimus out onto the site. Spam comes on through from Exist. He connects onto one. He looks for a second here, but it's Finnegan to find it. Forest does finally execute off of Optimus, and Dima helps Finnegan find that frag. Now in a 2 versus 1. Shut down very, very quickly. 2-man retake there was pretty damn clean from ESPADA. Seemed to happen within an instant.
Yeah, they had the rotate available already. There were 4 players on the site ready to take the fight against Dignitas. And as soon as they start committing through smokes, as soon as they start forcing the fights on that T side, that's when ESPADA look for ground right back. Look for the instant trade so that Dignitas are never comfortable. Of course, with the buffer they had, winning one of their gun rounds fairly cleanly, they can reinvest into this on the side of Dig. And I actually do wonder whether they'll re-explore that 4-man boost, or whether the one time it was spotted out is enough to scare them off of doing it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, oh, they're prepared for it once. Surely they're prepared for it again.
We haven't seen too much more presence from Heaven, actually, so maybe, at least in these early rounds, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they could try for it again, but Dima, quite close. Smoke scene to face. No flash there to be able to help out, so Forest is going to be able to find one. Finnegan flicks on, connects onto one of them inside of Forest. Freiburg falls as well. The smoke goes down to potentially block him off. There is a huge gap in that, though, and that's not going to work out very well for Exist as he loses life to it as well. Now pushing on through. Get right straight from short, but Finnegan, missing the jump. Maybe intentional, but who knows? looking to close down these last two players, but he only finds one more. It's still going to be a 4K from him, but talk about stepping up to the plate. Not the primary AWPer. Maybe he should be. Up to 19 kills now on round number 15.
Yeah, another AWP 4K for Finnegan. I mean, this guy has played around the site beautifully. The fact that Dignitas aren't chasing him down, aggressively hunting the trade. I think the second kill on Forrest or Freiburg, it might have been.
Yeah, Freiburg was second.
Yeah, he was flashed up by Get Right. So an unfortunate team flash, but one that Finnegan will take in good stride. Patsy hears the steps towards the connector. He understands that Dig are looking for some fast control that direction, so they actually fall back.
Think about fast control. We're about 15 seconds into this round. They're already out of mid. Smokes go down as well. Sophic going to begin just spamming. Patsy there now, trying to take down 3 of them, but instead only finds damage onto 2. Stopping. Close angle. Trades down 1. Looks for the head of the second, but isn't able to find it. Now with this retake on the hands of ESPADA, because the bomb's soon to go down, surely they don't stay in this round. Dima finds 1 in Get Right. Bring it just a little bit more level. There's damage onto Freiburg and to Hulzerk, so these M4s are in 1-tap range now. The bomb goes down. They need to make sure they're playing together. There's utility available on these CTs as well. The wide swing onto Freiburg. Dima does get taken down. Smoke up on over, but doesn't check his left, and Hulzerk punished him for it. It's 8-7. Dignitas bring us within 1. But let's see what they can do on this CT side, because realistically, feeling like Dignitas should have secured that first half at least.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to show what ESPADA are kind of made of on that CT side. Dignitas were finding really good entries. They got great performances out of Forest, Freiburg, Exists even in a couple rounds where they were just taking heads. And it really came down to the rotationary plays, the later round decision-making from ESPADA to bring back so many of those CT side rounds.
Finnegan up to 20 kills in the first half. That is a strong performance, 20-8. Him topping his leaderboard for ESPADA with no one anywhere near him, actually. Passy's the closest, but he's only on 9. And Dignitas, they're still quite a way away as well, with only 15 on Forest. So I'll be interested to see if Finnegan can continue this prowess on the AWP, and I'm curious to see if ESPADA allow him to continue using it as well. Obviously, we know that Dexter is the primary AWPer, but considering he's only got 4 kills, Finnegan's got 20, I feel like your initial role coming into this game changes completely. Kind of depends on how, obviously, you use the weapon. So if they do start putting these scoped weapons over to Dexter instead, I'll be very surprised. Because 4 frags, that's not really enough for you to continue having that slot, I would say.
Yeah, and he's the heavy hitter for ESPADA. So having him have a pretty off performance, having Finnegan fill that role so handily, given that Dexter's not really showing up, it's a good sign for ESPADA at the very least. But now the question becomes, how do you get production out of that squad now on the T side when Dexter can feel like such a pivotal piece? Like you said, maybe they just swap roles altogether, but that would be a pretty extreme change and one that wouldn't be too indicative of their faith in each other.
I agree. But either way, Dexter does need to step up to the plate. Exist as well. He's down on four kills. So, not just on the ESPADA lineup that are having a couple of issues with one of the players. Exist now going to be looking to at least pick up a couple of kills here, but Dima picks the corner quickest. Get Right, he finds one of them. Dexter, Patsy. It's an absolute bloodbath in underpass as all of the CTs fall with the exception of Freiburg, and he's just left saying, guys, you still there? What's going on? Now he knows he's got to take up 4. It's Freiburg. So this is very much doable.
Yeah, not quite a spray control, but he'll have the information. Covering the flank will be Dexter. Could be the one that gets the ball rolling. There it is from Freiburg. The first kill,
Oh, no
the
way.
jump, the movement's good. He brings it to the 1-on-2. They know where he's coming from, and they've planted accordingly. It's going to be difficult for Freiburg. He's got the kit. He has the smoke as well, but no armor. These tags will be detrimental to the duels. The flash flies on through. They try to take the fight. They try to swing together, and Patsy seals the round in. 3 kills for him to get ESPADA the pistol on the T side. But Freiburg makes that at least a little bit more competitive. See some nice opening duels to get it all rolling.
Yeah, I was seeing it. I was seeing it in my head that they weren't going to be able to secure it, but it looks like our partners over at Loopbet, they feel like ESPADA is going to be able to take this one. There's the odds from them, by the way. Loopbet offers 10 free CSGO spins and up to €100 bonus on your deposit. So just click the banner underneath the Twitch channel to find out more information there. ESPADA, they lead with 2 rounds right now, and DIGNITAS, they're kind of forced up here.
Yeah, the same response from ESPADA. You understand the line of reasoning. Get the AWP out as fast as possible. Get some good utility into follow-up gun rounds. And maybe surprisingly, come away with a win. Won't start off quite that well, though. Patsy, Dexter, they both find kills of their own. And, well, this B-bomb site has nobody to defend it any longer. Get right found as well. So, a nice clean round from ESPADA. That does mean that Dignitas are on the full save for this next round, and a opportunity for ESPADA to get a decent lead coming into the first gun round. They're projected to 11.
Yeah, there's been no commitment whatsoever to Dignitas here, and they are just committing every single player onto A. 4 of them on long, 1 of them inside of mid. They're going to reconvene very, very soon when they run straight headfirst into each other. They're not going to find a single ESPADA player, though. And the fact that ESPADA have seen nothing, heard nothing, not had even any pop shots fired at them, this has got to lead them to believe that this site is completely clear. And yeah, now they know that. As they rush on out, bomb's going to go down at the hand of Stofik. This rotate from Dignitas might be detrimental to Dexter's health. They burst on down. They might be able to find him. But instead, they're going back round T. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, there's slow plays and then there's this, right?
I actually thought that he was going to receive a jump scare. I thought he was going to go up the ladder and they were just all going to be there. But no, Dexter's read into it perfectly. Knows where they are. Freiburg the first to fall, but the rest are, I imagine, going to try and run and hide. Try to cut them off so that when they go for the save, they can do some damage. But that flash is great. Saltfic cleaning them up. Halzer just now able to see. He's like, I can see, guys. And he's dead, just like that.
9mm bullet to the head. That does that.
Life hits you real hard sometimes.
Perfectly timed flashbang, clearly.
I mean, Halzer's just looking at the wall,
like,
man.
Please let it end. Please let it end.
If they can't see me. Or if I can't see them, they can't see me. Now the bonus round for ESPADA. They get Halzerk on the AWP on the side of Dignitas, and will they start to turn it around now that they've got rifles on toe? Finnegan fast play. Oh, they line up for the spray from Get right through the smoke. Forrest will even get involved. He wanted a piece of the action. ESPADA trumped at the initial push, and there's another one through the smoke. They haven't had straight up duels yet, but ESPADA left with Patsy as the only man left.
You mean they haven't physically seen any of these players? They are just spamming through the smoke, hoping for the best, and they found 4 of them. Get right and Forrest, they're going to be happy about that one. I don't think a round could go much better for them. And I was going to say that this was quite a risky lack of buy from ESPADA. The fact that they still had the Galils, they still had a Mac 10 as well. And, well, it doesn't even come into play. They don't even deal any major chip damage. They drop Forrest down to 88 HP. Whoop-de-doo. What are you finding from that one? Absolutely nothing. Patsy might be able to find a consolation kill here, but if he somehow aces and secures this round, it might be one of the best plays of all time. But I doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll wear a very fancy hat if he wins this 1v5, but you'll get it started. Freiburg, first to fall. Should understand that Get Right and Forrest are tucked in together, finding isolated duels, but no, Forrest takes him down through a smoke, of course. Nice, good round from Dignitas. It wasn't the most conventional of holds, but they'll happily take the fact that ESPADA line up in the monster tunnel.
It wasn't the most conventional of holds because I only held one thing. It was the left mouse button. Just pulled the mouse down, hope for the best, get the spray down range, and well, it works in their favour. They do finally get themselves around on this CT side, and yeah, it's not conventional, but a round's a round at the end of the day. They're going to be happy with it.
Yeah, that looked like a round from one of my pug demos, basically.
They're rushing B, help me out. It's alright, I've killed them.
We killed them all. This is, of course, another buy round. Holzerk actually getting tagged and caught on the cross. So down to very low HP to start things off. This is more a standard approach from ESPADA. They usually like to work the map fairly slowly. They've got as well Finnegan probing A long. See if they can identify where Dignitas are stacked up. Whether there's any sort of lingering presence towards the bathrooms. They actually seem to be re-aggressing on the side of Dignitas as well. I think Exist is on for a duel with Finnegan.
Low play from ESPADA, but it's allowed Dignitas to get into positions, and that's so unfortunate that only connects into the leg. Actually, I think it connects into the chest, but goes through the corner of that wall. Forest. Another tag from these Orcs, and Dexter. Okay, that's what we like to see from him. It was a slow start to his game, but he comes back with that. 3K against Rifles with the York. We have to secure a 12th round for ESPADA, and that's what we're going to see again. Oh no, it's actually going to hold. Yes, yeah, it connect through the corner of that the little box. That's unfortunate.
I mean, we get to see pretty much the whole round, I think, because
it happened in about 12 seconds.
Yep, just about. Welcome back, Dexter. Shot after shot. He hit 2 of them through walls. I think he's the reason Halzerk was tagged down low as well. So
yeah,
some solid connections in the AWP to get him back in line for ESPADA. Of course, now just the pistols for Dignitas this time a little bit more utility. They've got nades primed that they're rotating back to B. I think at a bit of a mistiming because ESPADA have already lurked themselves out.
Finnegan does get dinked here, but I don't think anything else is really going to come of it. Demon now just tapping away, trying to find the heads of Exist, but the stopping you find the other one. Exist is forced to fall back, but the fire spread's just a little bit too far. Does ensure another round for ESPADA. Now just 3 rounds remaining for them, and I hate to say it, the Dignitas, they need to win this round, or it's going to fall out of their control. ESPADA will have a bye for the next couple, even if they lose this. Dignitas lose this, they're not going to have a bye. ESPADA are going to go up to 15. But a different play once again. We see this adaptation from them. But they're taking connector control, which is odd because we haven't seen too much connector presence from ESPADA as of yet.
Yeah, they're trying to go for the head stack, see if they could capitalize on ESPADA running through the short tunnel. Would have been a good way to start. Forrest will open things up, but he's traded immediately. The door opens up right in Patsy's face, and he's like, hold the phone. Has to be somebody on the other side of this. Can't save his teammate, but they'll take the trade nonetheless. That does stretch the defenses out ever so slightly. It also means Dignitas are less likely to see too much aggression. If it is play towards short water late into the rounds, it's likely to be a solo player. Well, they're ESPADA. They're looking for that opening pick. Get right, just jumping over the sightlines of Dexter's ult.
Get right, looking to make lightning strike twice in the same place. This push from Monster. Gonna hope he can find something, but the only thing he finds is a bullet from the AWP to the chest. With that nade in his hand, he gets punished for it. Freiburg, who hears the Molotov raining over the skies, gets double flashed from short, is unable to actually find Pasty. I thought he was going to be able to get him, but Not going to be the case. 2 versus 3 now. There's damage on a couple of these players. And another tag instead of the kill. Exists nade does take down Finnegan, but there's more than enough time to get this one planted. It gets tapped. He's going to wide peek him. He knows the Patsy's there. He's dropped him down. There's so much wood in the way that the bullets just don't go through. Patsy's going to survive, but only just 8 HP to his name. And now that's a 14th for ESPADA. And most likely a 15th as well, unless Dignitas really want to force into this one. But I think they're going to be more than happy to wait and try and play for overtime.
Man, Patsy was so low HP, I feel for him. Had the right idea to spam him down. Only needed a few bullets to connect, but like you said, that would just ate it all up. Yeah, ESPADA are in prime position now. Lack of real investment from Dignitas as they're preparing for 7 in a row. Keep the economy high enough that you can afford to buy in the follow-up round. They go for a concerted effort towards short. And they'll actually find nobody on the ESPADA side. A very, very passive hold here from ESPADA. They're leaving mid completely unguarded, grouping up outside of B instead. And Dignitas, they've got 4 players here with pistols. This could still be dangerous.
This surely doesn't go for the peak here. He just has to play this close angle with the CD75. The pocket AK looking to take down his bigger brothers. But the spray from Dima is golden. Takes down Exists, and Freiberg, the boost from Get Right, finds absolutely nothing other than a couple of AK rounds. And Hulzerk, nice little 1D, but weapon nowhere near in a recoverable spot. Not going to be able to hit another one. It's 15-8 now for ESPADA as their map pick of Overpass is very much going in their way. And this is what you were saying in the pre-game, right? The fact that ESPADA, they do like this map. They are kind of calm and collective on it. Dignitas didn't have any real choice than playing this map because their permaban and Mirage is obviously what they're going to ban out first. Allows ESPADA to basically get a free map.
Yeah, it didn't start out as what I would call free, but yeah, I think it was always going to be a tough battle for Dignitas to climb out of because of the deep map pool that ESPADA have.
Oh, Dignitas is still in this round, of course. They have a full buy. Agility on 3. Forrest has only got a smoke to his name now, but the weapons are plentiful. And if Hulzerk can find a frag on this long rotate, then maybe he has a chance, but flip the switch. Go towards toilets, and now Hulzerk is really trying to get on that pixel angle right now, and he's on it. Ooh, does just whiff the shot though, uncharacteristic from him, and now this opens up that A bomb site. Hulzerk does find one in Finnegan, one of the star players for ESPADA that we've seen time after time now. Exist is going to take this opportunity to push up himself as well, using that smoke to his advantage. Another one goes down. I wonder if they know he's here. I don't think they do. Dima's pushed on through. Stoffik does actually find Exist. A blind spray through the smoke, even though Stoffik was completely blinded himself. Dima now peeking the angle, jumping round, takes down Hulzerk, takes down Freiberg. This is clean. Now just Get Right and Forest. All they've got is a smoke, a flash, a Molotov, and just Get Right. Now to 1v3. Look towards the next map, guys, because that's where we're going to be going. Nuke is next on the card as ESPADA take a very strong performance on the second half. Only dropping 1 round to dig.
Yeah, that felt like an aiming masterclass in so many rounds from a number of different players. Even from the likes of Dignitas, it seems like everybody's come here to play. The aim and the adjustment for multiple kills from both the Dig players and ESPADA. You saw it there from Dima at the end. He had some pretty high impact, just double kills when entering the sites. And I mean, it really did come down to ESPADA just having a better timings and just understanding to work the map slower, especially with Dignitas having a bit less experience, a bit less success on the map as well. It was going to be a tough battle, but ESPADA, they show us why this is a staple in their map pool.
Yeah, 80% win rate on that map. Can't say I'm surprised from that performance. That is very, very nice. And I really liked that Finnegan stepped up to the plate for that entire game. The fact that he isn't the primary AWPer, but we see him hitting shots that some of the top tier pros would be hitting as well, to be honest with you. So definitely some experience there, and maybe something that ESPADA can lean on if he becomes more consistent with those sort of rounds. Dignitas, yeah, all to play for when we move over to Nuke, which will just be in a few short moments, guys. Go grab yourself a snack. Go grab yourself something to eat. We'll be back in a few couple of moments.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Damn! That was one of the best tickle fights I've been to.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Welcome back to week number 9 of Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. My name is Cody Cast. Joining me is Yumi. We've just had our first game in our winners best of 3 between ESPADA and Dignitas over on ESPADA's map pick of Overpass. And well, put it this way, Dignitas won 1 round on the CT side. ESPADA, they won significantly more. 16-8 is how that game ended. And now we move over to our second map of Nuke. A little bit of Dignitas home ground as well, considering what their roster used to be able to do on this map.
Sorry, you look at any of those players on the side of Dignitas, and it's understandable, right? Like the old fledglings of the ex-NIP days, they loved Nuke, and it's transferred over. It's understandable why they have the positions pretty much under lock and key. I am still worried coming into this matchup because I don't think we've seen Dignitas on their best day, but I think that kind of goes in tow with what we said to start off the group, is that Dignitas have had these few blips on the radar as of late, and maybe they are sort of entering a rough patch or a rough period, and it'll be a good way to start if they continue in the upper bracket and make it out of the groups to the playoffs, because I think they need that extra vote of confidence from not only to themselves but to the fans as well at home, because I mean you can understand why people would be fans of this team. They've got legendary players on it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, there has been talk. There has been doubters of this Dignitas lineup within fans and within fans of ESPADA as well, saying that Dignitas, they aren't on their best right now. And that is very, very clear. So I would like to think that Overpass is a bit of a warm-up from them, and they are able to take us to a more convincing Nuke. However, you said it completely right, Yumi. It's the fact that ESPADA have been strong here, and even on their opponent's map pick, a map like Nuke, they should be able to perform pretty damn well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see this series go 2-0 at this stage, because ESPADA, they've come here to play. People just stepping up to the plate who usually wouldn't have come out of the woodwork and been able to perform absolutely fantastically. There's no single player on ESPADA who I can say you aren't performing well enough. Everyone has kind of stepped up. We saw some flourishes from Dignitas over on that first map when they played up against Aves on Train, but it took them a while to get going. Unfortunately, it didn't seem like that same level was brought to us when we were on Overpass. So we are just going to have to wait and see how Nuke kicks off. Of course, we are going to be hoping that, or at least Dignitas are hoping that they can get that knife round in their favour and they can secure the CT side.
To see how it all pans out, of course. So we are going to transition over to the game now. We can see the flyover on outside. See a fight. ESPADA and Dignitas. So if Dignitas don't get this knife round, they'll start on the T side.
That already just puts them in a pretty bad mindset. But all in all, won't know how it goes as of yet. But, well, Dignitas have picked up 3, 4, make that 5 of 3 surviving players as well. Not too much to say about that. They're going to choose the CT side almost certainly, as they do.
Yeah, I think having the choice of side isn't as big a deal as some may make it, just because, I mean, if it's your own map pick, if you're as comfortable as you are, if you have good success on the map, it shouldn't be about the CT or T side start. Obviously, the CT side is still favored, but the real proving grounds for either of these teams will be on the T side of things. I don't think there's really much to discuss on that regard. And you can see our partners over at Lootbet, they gave Dignitas a slight edge in this particular map, but it's not quite as heavy as some may think. I mean, we've had some stats that, or some odds from our partners that have been a lot more one-sided. There's a lot of good graces being thrown towards ESPADA.
Yeah, I think that makes sense though, right? Because Dignitas, this is, as you mentioned correctly, this is their map pick. They should be confident on this, no matter if they're on the CT or the T side. But I do think a good pistol round will just solidify how they're going to perform the rest of this game. Exists is indeed able to find one, looks to take down Dexter as well, but not able to do so. Freiberg from the heavens falls on down and takes down one of his own. Now Finnegan, 1 versus 3. He's picked up one already in the form of Get Right, upgrades himself to a USPS. Isn't able to find the head of Freiberg as he just dinks him through the vent, and it's the nade from Forest. He closed him out.
Yeah, that can be a way in which two sides can catapult themselves into a decent set of rounds, a bit of a buffer on that two side, especially if they're less comfortable on the map. But DIGNITAS dodged that bullet. A good effort there from Freiburg to make sure that the bomb couldn't be recovered. It wasn't any sort of position in which ESPADA could retreat, regather their thoughts, or play the round out any differently. So a nice way to start on your own map pick. And now we'll see ESPADA with limited investment try to barrel towards the vents, but Forest denies it. Doesn't allow them the sanctuary of that B-bomb site to get that planted. The bomb dropped at their feet. Patsy left with a deagle. And he is not long for the world either. Nice clean anti-eco for the CTs.
And this is what we need to be seeing from DIGNITAS. We need some of those cleaner rounds to really come on out because we didn't see too many of them across the 2 maps we've seen them play so far. There's been, again, a flash of hope in some of these rounds, but none of them where it's like, okay, DIGNITAS deserve to secure that round victory. That one was different, though. And maybe this next one will be as well, but the odds are stacked against them. They've got 3 MP9s, an AUG, and a FAMAS against 4 AKs, tons of utility, and a Galil. ESPADA, they've committed pretty hard into this one. Not enough money to be able to buy up an AWP here onto Dexter. Of course, with no bomb plant in the last 2 rounds, so that nade's going to do absolute damage to Dima. Dropping down to 37 HP. These MP9s can be very, very lethal the second you drop below 50, so something to worry about.
Yeah, very default style from ESPADA to start things off, and they've lost most of the damage exchanges. Already losing Finnegan, like you said, Demon low on HP as well. We'll get right. He'll have to fall back towards the B-bomb site, pressured off of ramp. That's only a small piece of the puzzle here for ESPADA. They actually find the push, and Patsy, Dexter, they get the kills. Although Patsy falls, that actually allows them more space and more room to work with as they can converge on this A-bomb site. Halzerg aggressively spamming away to try and deal some damage on the way in, but doesn't give enough space for Forrest to get up the vent.
Get right gets punished on the rotate. Rightfully so as well, and homework, yeah, not happening there. The taps from Dima do disconnect. It was on 12 HP, but it's more than enough to be able to blindside an opponent. 2-1 now. And a time up being called by Dig very early on.
Yeah, I can understand it, because that felt like a round in which they should just come out ahead. They get a clean opening engagement. They start off with a man advantage. I mean, Get Right tagged the player down to 37 HP. So all the pieces seem to be there, but that little bit of aggression towards ramp, that little bit of hesitancy that ESPADA display as well in doubling back towards lobby. Good reactions from both sides, but ESPADA were just a move ahead, it felt like.
They had the better weapons, is right. The fact that DIGNITAS, they carried through those MP9s, it really worked against them, but now, this is a bit of a sloppy buy from DIGNITAS. They've committed everything into this round, but economy is quite fragmented. Freiburg on that MP9. Get Right on the XM1014. FAMAS on Exist. M4 on Forest, and the AWP from Halzerg. I mean, talk about one weapon from every single part of the wheel. All they're missing is a Zeus.
Don't tempt them now.
It's a good map to buy it on, trust me.
Actually is. There's a massive gap in the smokes towards outside. ESPADA are going to be able to cross, though. They do through a close smoke to allow that cross, but Forrest was there on the receiving end, so nobody from ESPADA actually commit out. Instead, the attention is drawn elsewhere. I think Ramp's about to be pressured. Yeah, Get Right with the XM. He gets taken down. Halzerg's there on the rotation, but the Molotov will stop him from going for a peek. And they've identified where the AWP is.
Well, they know that one's in the round now. I believe that, yeah, it was the first shot that he's fired in this round, so. The fact they've seen an XM10 and an AWP and that's it. Hopefully they can read into this and realise it is a bit of a sloppy buy. Very surprised Get Right didn't get that kill onto Dima though, dropping down to 14 HP. Does mean that these MP9s though, well this MP9 can do a lot of damage. It's the M4 from Forest that finds the frag though. Taps from Passy, very nice from him. Hello Freiburg, picking up 2 with the MP9. There's a reason he picks it up. Dima holding the rotate. Does well to be able to defend that one. All the doors now being closed by Dexter. It just exists. Peeks out of double doors, punished straight away by the AK. And I wonder if they can recover that AWP. No, nowhere near enough time.
Yeah, good recovery there from ESPADA. They lose the pistol the follow-up round as well, but they answer back with 2 very strong rounds in which Dignitas have to constantly rotate into the ESPADA game plan. Even getting as much production out of Dima on the lurk, given he was low HP in the round. It's exactly what they wanted. So now Dignitas fully invest into this. They have the scout. Halzerk actually nails the shot to start things off, and Forrest is looking to get a bit of space off the back of it.
It's a great opening from that scout. Forrest can find a headshot here, then maybe there's a chance for them, but it's not going to be the case. He drops Patsy down to 21 HP, but it's not enough to secure a weapon. Still going to be quite a hard push, I'd say, for ESPADA to successfully get onto one of these sites. Freiburg can get right. Deagle's available for them, so with those smokes they both have, they can lock off a site if they need to. 1:05 on the clock for ESPADA. Still no dedicated site in that line of sight. It looks like A, but it could very much be a jump straight down into vent. That Molotov following something tells me it's not going to be. Pocket AK for Exist takes down one. Finnegan bursts on out as he jumps down into the fire and the flames, and he dropped down to 25 HP. Something tells me that was not the plan. He is going to be able to get the bomb planted, but maybe not. Might be Deeds down as Get Right does just get scared off, and he misses 2 shots before he actually connects the final one. Bomb going to be defused and a weapon recovered. A decent round for Dignitas there as they move from a couple of 4 sport-up pistols and a scout to 3 AKs and 3 surviving players.
Yeah, a round that Dignitas shouldn't win on paper, but Halzerk opens it up fantastically with the scout. They converge and keep a lot of presence outside as well, and after they saw nothing from ESPADA, that's when they got aggressive. That's when they push in past the red container, make sure that if ESPADA are there, they have to be honored in that fact. And I think the only player that was holding down that position was Patsy, who was brought down to low HP. A good job identifying what ESPADA are doing and actually punishing them for taking those duels at a distance. Not as much utility as you could have maybe projected coming into the default for the T side either. That gives Dignitas a very strong buy coming into this round. Of course, rifles across the board. They had utility in spades. They'll spend a lot of it to keep ESPADA back in the early stages. ESPADA set their sights outside. Freiburg going to be stuck between a few rough positions, but he's created a gap in the smoke. Halzerk gets dropped, but now Freiburg, does he actually aggress off the small gap he's created?
I mean, he could. That is like, that's what experience gets you, right? Knowing you can headbutt a smoke just to be able to block it, to be able to give yourself a bit of a gap. He's not going to be able to use it, it doesn't look like, as the push comes on through and the smokes fade. Spam from Exists, but dear Lord, Softic, can you please calm down, man? 2 gorgeous taps to be able to take down the 2 outside local players on Dignitas, and Forrest isn't able to find anything for himself either. It's 3-3 now. ESPADA bring themselves back into this game. And they have a buy above Dignitas as well, so they're looking almost certain to take themselves into the lead.
Oh, another force buy. More scouts, more pistols. It worked before. Surely lightning doesn't strike twice. Well, more of the same here from ESPADA. Slow default, just hold on towards lobby control. Make sure that if it is pistols, they don't get crunched. A strategy passed down from the ages on many iterations of Nuke. Get right. He's going to get a good timing on the rotation. Actually could have taking a head clean off, but since the tag, they're going to cheat a rotation down towards the lower side, and the ESPADA are actually trying to get some space. The smoke will deny a bit of information, the angles that Forest has taken up, but they're here in numbers on the side of Dig. Yeah, finally we'll get to see a save here from Dignitas, but you know where you can save? You can save a bit of cash by using the promo codes shown on screen, MaltaV15, at Hellcase, the biggest and most known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battle, upgraded dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolutely unique features. You won't get bored with Hellcase. Go out and check them out. There's, I think, a link underneath the channel, in the little doobly-doo. That's an old term from the YouTube, but
no contestation for this B-bomb site. There's nothing really here for Dignitas. Freiburg was holding quite passive with a Zeus. Still got that available to him, but not going to find anything, I don't think.
yeah, they're just trying to contain them in the bomb site as best they can on these pistols. I think Freiburg. Come on, baby. Give me a Zeus kill. Yes, no, maybe. Oh, they're running away from him. They know. They've run into his game plan. Oh, unfortunate stuff for him. He doesn't get anything done with the Zeus, but a good round here from ESPADA on the anti-eco. Look at the cash that they're building up on that T side. It is looking crispy. And while Dignitas, they're not too fond of the crispiness, you know, a little fried chicken. They're going vegan. Need to take a break from all that. I'll take a timeout, see if they can gather their thoughts. I mean, this is a tough decision to make now as well, because they have to either prioritize the AWP on Halzerk to get him into a glass cannon, or maybe you instead go for the rifles. If they go for the rifles, I'd expect that they maybe go for a bit of a different stance outside, just so Halzerk doesn't feel as pressured to take long-range fights with an M4. A rough decision to make. He'll actually kind of go between the two. He goes for the AUG instead, so still has a scope. And still can fight at a distance, but it's not going to be quite the same. Ooh, Finnegan's got a lot of space. Dima as well. They're both converging outside. They find Halzerk there, caught completely off guard.
Yeah, they just push straight up. Boris is only able to find, well, absolutely nothing. It's going to be damage onto Dima. It's not going to be the frag, though. Exist. Taps down soft. Freiburg there as well. And, well, they try to bring it level, but it's very swiftly dropped on over. Man advantage stage with ESPADA. Finnegan's like, oh, there you are. I'll take you out of this round. Freiburg now inside a secret. You can hear all the stomping above his head, but all in all, nothing else in this round.
Yeah, the glass was broken, so he immediately rotates back. It's like, I don't want to give them information as to my whereabouts.
No, definitely not.
That's actually one of the most depressing things is if you are that early rotator towards the B site, just hearing all the steps above you as they win the round. You have all the sound cues, but you can do nothing to stop
Absolutely nothing with it, yeah. What it comes down to. Well, Freiburg's just going to be looking for these exit frags, but it is going to be a 6th round for ESPADA. They are looking to continue their momentum here as well. They've got a pretty decent eco built up. 9k on Finnegan, 8k on Dexter, 8k on Pasti, but look at that. That goes absolutely through the roof. Every single player, with the exception of Dima, above 10k right now. They buy up what they need to. But even then, they've got buy after buy at this stage. Dignitas, they really, really wish they could say the same, but can't, quite simply.
Yeah, this was the fear coming into this map. ESPADA, although their win rate isn't great, they always bring it close at the very least against teams that have this as a pretty staple part of their map pool. And given the recent form for Dignitas, given the recent form for ESPADA in particular as well, they're doing a good job of getting rounds on this T side. And again, like you said, projected at getting even more. 7, maybe 8 rounds on this T side. They'll be more than happy with even just the 6. So everything else is just gravy.
Hey, made me hungry. Thanks for that, Yumi. Much appreciated.
I was talking about fried chicken earlier.
Fried chicken earlier.
Yep.
Like gravy now. Yep, right. Looking to pick up a kill here, and while he does, the weapon's nowhere near recoverable. Patsy trades it back, but now in a 3 versus 3, weapon advantage very much in the hands of ESPADA. Dear Lord, talk about speed. Jumps straight through the window and is able to spam down Freiburg before he can, well, barely get his finger on the trigger. Forrest now in a 1 versus 3 has indeed been able to recover himself a Creed right now. Sees that the door's open. A single tap to take down Sokvik. Now he needs to find more info. But if he wants to actually get this bomb defused, he needs to jump onto the site quickly because he's got no kit. Yeah. But instead realizes that, okay, the economy could probably use of me saving a weapon here. So he's going to be saving that. Creed, take it through to the next. And sure, ESPADA can take themselves a 7th and realistically the half as well if they're able to pick up one more round. With this sort of momentum they've built, I wouldn't be surprised they are indeed able to do so.
Yeah, not looking too hot on the side of Dignitas. They win the pistol. They win the follow-up round. I think they've won 1 retake as of yet. But that's it. About a 50-50, an easy round, and a good performance in a late round situation. ESPADA are really just picking them apart. They're holding on to these man advantages so often. And Dignitas haven't been able to find a suitable response. Look at the change of pace here from ESPADA. The fast play towards the site. It doesn't work out in their favor. Freiburg and Forrest convert for a couple of frags. The bomb's now dropped and exposed. Sofvik trapped out in the open. And now they're having to flourish in this chaotic situation. Finnegan tries desperately to get something back, but Dexter's now all that's left.
I didn't know if you noticed, Yumi, but it looks like Dignitas have turned up to the server finally. Very clean couple of kills coming on through there, with only Freiburg being the falling man for the CTs. And Dexter, well, there's no way he can push this. Realistically, nothing to lose, but just wants to force Dignitas into an issue. But with their experience, they know that, okay, as a single player, their economy is probably booming either way. Not going to help us to be able to hunt down this AK. Dexter, though, knows that he can hurt the opponent's economy, and he does find the head of Forrest, rips it clean off his shoulders as well. Smoke goes on out, and with enough time on the clock to be able to grab this bomb and hot tail it down vent. Thinking about it. It's round 3 minute. Spots out one behind reactor on the A site. Peeking between these 2 separate angles. I wonder if he can see the bomb on the floor. He must be able to. Hulzerk's holding the crossbow with that AWP. The second he peeks it, taken down. Dexter. It's a nice attempt, but needed to move just a little bit faster if he wanted to have a chance of actually getting that bomb planted. It's a 4th round for Dignitas. They do still have a bye.
Very reminiscent of that round from overpass where ESPADA just run through the monster tunnel.
Yep.
Doesn't feel all too repeatable unless ESPADA do the exact same thing over and over, because Dignitas are setting up for these protocols on the CT side. When they have utility, they are throwing the Molotovs and the utility to slow down pushes. But ESPADA are at least keeping them honest. Good initial damage onto Dexter to start the round. Not even really sure where he's taking that damage, but hey, a softened up opponent for Dignitas to play off of later on. Don't mind if they do.
A lot of smoke's being chucked outside. Forest not in a position to be able to headbutt that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's deeper wall of smokes as well this time, so they can actually have a better job trying to clear out the garage. Oh, it's not that crisp from Forest, but they're fully flashed up, so no trade available. Get right falls on the other side of the map. Dima as well. Well, they're actually getting the trades to go their way on the side of Dig. So far, so good. A 2 versus 4 with the identifying factors that they know where these last two ESPADA players are. They're going to give them free reign of that B bomb site, play together, and use the numbers in their favor.
Appreciate they want to play the numbers game, but only just rotating players off after utility and the site has basically fallen. A little bit late, maybe, but Freiburg peeks out of double doors. Peekaboo. Takes down Finnegan. Glass is not broken. The Dexter has to give away his position, and that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, Yumi. The second that the window player has to stare, look into it, and be like, oh, I'm going to have to make so much noise right now.
Yep. So, okay, repeatable or not, they get 2 rounds in a row on the side of Dignitas. It has been fleeting on their CT side, and they have to hammer down on the economy that ESPADA have built up. The problem now becomes that the more rounds they're winning, the loss bonus is accumulating for ESPADA. So even when they look like they're about to run out of cash, they'll suddenly have some more coming their way.
A lot of utility being deployed here, and with the vent doors open, we would be surprised if this was a B execute, but instead they are just collapsing onto A. Forest, you just tapped and bumped into Dexter, and I wonder if either of them know that that's just happened. The smoke's going to fade in a couple of moments, and Forest might be able to find him. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, dead. Taken down. Now in a 2 versus 1. Doesn't have the bomb, as that's been dropped down into vent, but that might be more of a blessing than a curse, as he's able to get off completely scot-free. Out onto the B-bomb site, get it planted, and they hear it now. Dignitas, they need to rotate. Dexter closes decon. Moves back towards Shadow. He can hold. Oh, actually, no, he's not. He's going to be over on Cat, and heard the scope, but we're just going to be pushing straight down from decon. That Molotov's going to do quite a bit of damage to Hulzerk, but in this engagement, I don't think it really matters. Door's going to be open. Dexter knows where they're coming from. Spots one as they swing out onto the site, but he's not even able to find that one. Hulzerk, great shot from him as he's a second to rain on through. It's 7-6. Dignitas. They aren't going down by the fight.
Yeah, they're making this half a lot more competitive. ESPADA were in a really good position. They held a 7-3 lead. And now Dignitas are hoping to try and round out this CT side. A couple more wins. If they win the half, I think that's an overall victory considering how poor a position they were in earlier. But like I was saying before, ESPADA getting 6, getting 7. That is good real estate moving into the second half where they'll have the CT side. Oh, the nade on Patsy brings him down to 14 HP. I think a tag from Forest as well contributed. He's tagged just as low. Molotov, I think, spread at the last second. All the meanwhile, Freiburg's been found towards the A site.
Afraid as of yet, but Forest outside. You have to probe for information. If you can hear the smokes come over, then maybe you can peek at just the right time. Sees them fly. Now knows that at least, well, one person's outside. Spots that one person in the form of Sophic, and does take him out of the round. Molotov goes down, and now Demon needs to push on through, but Get Right's there with that AK to be able to take him down. Man advantage going to the way of Dig, and well, make that a 2-man advantage now. Oh, lovely from Forest. just before the smoke plumes, he picks up that shot. And now just Patsy once again. Last guy remaining, and Exists closes it out. Dignitas. They're here to play still. It's 7-7. ESPADA have had ample opportunity to be able to pick up a couple of these rounds, but haven't been able to do so as of yet.
Yeah, they're making sure it's as difficult as possible for ESPADA to get out of door. I mean, you're seeing the change from Forest. The opening of this game, he wasn't really committing out of mini, quite trying to play behind the smoke instead. Now he's just barreling through it. He's trying to support his team as fast as possible. Freiburg, this time it's a faster play. This time they use Hut to get themselves some ground on the site. And Forest on the rotation again. He's able to find one, but not quite the same production as previous rounds. This is shaping up to be an ESPADA victory. They hold a slim man advantage. But Get Right and Halzek, they're trying to make this one work. I don't even know what this smoke truly covers, but it might act as a one-way peeking out of heaven.
Yeah, it does. I've been seeing it time and time again recently where they're just chucking it, and then the AWPer usually holds the angle. But instead, it's going to be the jump down from Get Right. He covers him as he falls. He takes down two. Now Dexter in a 1 versus 2. He's got Get Right on the ropes with 14 HP, and the single bullet to the chest finishes him off. You can try your fancy smokes as much as you like, but when it comes down to aim duels, Dexter doesn't take a single point of damage, and he comes out on top. It's 8-7 in this first half for ESPADA. I would say they should be further ahead, but Dignitas have done a good job to be able to keep a hold on this game.
Yeah, this was looking like a bit of a whitewash for ESPADA, given that they started out the game losing the pistol, but mustering up a fair few rounds, getting a decent lead together. Dignitas answering with 7, like you said. It's a decent enough recovery. Getting the pistol would certainly go a long way for them on this T side, though. If ESPADA are able to get that one under the belt, the pressure really builds on the opening gun round, because that goes astray. Looking at 11, 12, 13 before Dignitas will have a strong buy. So we'll see how this one goes. Not much utility really being brought forward, but okay, look at the pace. Halzek able to get 2 to start things off. Suffix there to finally put an end to the madness, but a good man advantage to start here for ESPADA.
Freiburg going to be able to level the playing field just a little bit as the bomb goes down on the B site. Forest from range with the Glock does indeed find one, but it's getting rushed down with Julies. And now Freiburg from range. He's got 2 to find. The bomb gets tapped. He knows he's got to try and fight this, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Time is ticking down. There's no kit. He doesn't think they're holding.
Yeah.
For the round victory. And they are 9-7 now. And, well, you can see for our partners over at LootBet that now it's swapped round. They were favouring Dignitas quite heavily. Now it's all on ESPADA.
I actually think I missed... I thought Halzek got 2 kills, but upon saying it, it seemed like one of them was a team kill.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, I'll sort of run through the motions, like, yes, ESPADA, man advantage. Wait, ESPADA, man advantage?
How was that happen?
Yeah. Rather unfortunate circumstance. I was like, how was Halzek? Okay. Either way, that is not the way you want to start. ESPADA do have the buy, but Dignitas have an AK. They've got Forest on that, seeing if he can perform heroic. So far on the cross, spotted out. Freiburg takes the tag, but only man to actually get down successfully is Forest, and he gets nothing accomplished with the AK either.
Yeah, just a couple of tags just to be able to find some openings here from ESPADA, but this is just a get more money round for them. Dignitas, they don't commit too hard into it, so you can't expect much from them. Now a full buy is on the cards if they really do want it. Forest, same can't be said for him though. Going to be stuck on his lowly deagle, but hopefully he can do some work with it. 4 AKs surrounding him. They're breaking every single skylight on the A site, which could mean they're going to go that way, or could mean that they just prepping that in case they want to change their mind. But with these smokes and with this collapse outside, they're going straight into secret. All of the B site control. Molotov in there as well when it deals a single tick of damage to Freiburg. Get Right opens up the round by taking down Finnegan through the smoke. Lovely little headshot from him. then the round slows down.
Yeah, getting a nice opener, but with Exist being on a slither of HP, it's a very slim margin. ESPADA, the traditional response is to aggress towards lobby, get some control elsewhere as you lose control outside, and well, Get Right still lingering there. Dexter there for the trade, but Get Right's accomplished his goal. The problem is now Patsy's contributed, Forrest was on a lurk himself, and it's into equal numbers. Dignitas will have the site, but that numbers advantage they start out with isn't held on to.
Dean has been holding. Basically ramped for the entire round until he lurked on through lobby. Now going to be pushing on through, again, the first face that some of these Dignitas players see. Can't wait too long. Sparta need to go soon. Only one kit, that is on Dima. No recoverable ones either side either. Patsy checking every single angle, calm and collected. They're doing it by the book, which is nice to see. Flash goes out, and might be seeing a push out from Deacon here. Exist takes down Dima, and I don't know if the kit can be recovered. It can, but Patsy gets tapped down as well by Hulzerk. Freiburg does just survive as he runs for the hills. Hulzerk joins him as well. 10 to ESPADA, but Dignitas finally pick up one in this T side. Maybe we're going to be seeing a little bit of a turn here. Because Dignitas, that was a pretty strong hold from them.
Yeah, a good recognition of how to play the post plant. They all wait for the glorious signal queue that is tapping the bomb, and they all swing off the back of one crucial flashbang from Dignitas, even though it ended up being that I think Papsy full blinded is able to adjust. It's still going to be enough once they took out the diffuser. So a gap closing round. Just pistols, the singular Deagle, or actually no, joined by Finnegan. So there's a pair of them running around for ESPADA, but the amount of control that Dignitas have already accomplished in this round, there's no rotation, no movement really from the ESPADA side. So it should be a slow convergence and a plant towards the lower side of the map.
Low push though, I don't think I've heard a footstep in the last 30 seconds. Get right. Ending that streak as he pushes outside. Smokes go down as the B execute. Comes on out for Dig. But Forrest and Get Right, they're going to have some fun outside. They're going to try and find a couple of frags if they can, but ESPADA, everyone is sure they can find at least one kill here. They do take down Forrest as he picks up a 3k. Get Right with his teammate's weapon ensures that revenge is taken. 9th round for Dignitas. ESPADA can finally buy up into this round again.
Well, the ESPADA are back. They've got the AWP out on Dexter. Maybe given the form on Overpass, you know, pass it over to Finnegan, give him a couple rounds of love. I know, a very standard approach from the ESPADA side, trying to contest crucial places like doors, similar to how Dignitas were. But pretty much a mirror image of what ESPADA were doing for most of the rounds on their T side, just defaulting out passively. Dima, though, under a lot of pressure. He's actually not falling back. He wants the fights, and Get Right will punish him.
Yeah, rightfully so. You get rushed down by 4 players, you really cannot just be standing there waiting. Softic now going to be pushing up, waiting to see if it can spray down multiple, but instead doesn't get any damage. Destroys the concrete pillar, but doesn't connect to any of the Dignitas players. Patsy and Finnegan now running for the hills. They realise that this round is over and done with. They don't want to lose anything else. The fact that this was a full commitment from ESPADA, and they only find one and Exist, and it's not even the Orpa of Dexter, means that back to the drawing board from them. As Dignitas are able to level this game out now 10 to 10. They've got tons of momentum behind them.
Yeah, it's seeming as though because this is a less familiar or less successful map from ESPADA, they're taking the onus on themselves to perform a bit more individually. Not quite seeing the same spacing or the same ability to rotate to help from the players on ESPADA. I mean, even just that small decision from Dima, why he doesn't fall back and simply play the ramp. We saw Dignitas do it on their CT side numerous times. It is the traditional response unless you've got somebody fighting with you from hell. But I mean, they just the ESPADA rotate just wasn't there in time. You can understand a call to timeout. Try to gather your thoughts, get an idea of what to do in the round, and maybe you even you don't force up around the rifles, but you try and maybe put them in positions to succeed in the early stages.
A little bit of utility, buy down to 2 grand maybe, but I think that's going to be all they can do. They need to ensure they have a buy in this next round. They can't lose 2 in a row. Well, it's only Patsy and Finnegan who have a real commitment into this round, and that's from the save weapons from that previous. They need to make sure they're stacking these pistols up around these players. Dima with a close angle that we've known to see him play time and time again, with only a P250. The only player currently on ramp. Finnegan trying to get aggressive, waiting for someone to cross over control, but one there as of yet, and now he's getting impatient. Out into Little Cubby, and about to wide swing it as well, and he might get punished by Forrest. Yep, Forrest sees you climbing that ladder, buddy. You need to make sure you're checking every single angle before you even think about climbing up there, even snowwalking. I appreciate they've not given up any information, but be an easy clear for him. Patsy now the only player on ESPADA with a rifle. Couple of upgraded pistols, but oh, hello. Patsy finds one. They know it's close enough to be able to recover. Sophie finds it as well. Dexter with the CZ75. Hello, okay, maybe they have a stake in this round. It's 3 versus 3. Bomb could go down at any moment on this A-bomb site, but when it does go, it allows Dima to be able to cross over and get a rifle now. This is very winnable for ESPADA, even though they don't have armor. The spam comes on through from Dima. He trades it back. Softic's on 1 HP, but it's a 1 versus 1. It's AK versus AK. If Softic can find a headshot, then he's got this in the bag. Around the Dignitas should be absolutely all over their opponents.
No idea.
He has no idea. He's jumped down onto the site, though. He doesn't have a kit, so he needs to get this kill quick. But with 1 HP, he either makes the call now to be able to do it or run. Finds the York and get right punish him for it as well. Might have left it there to bait him out, in all honesty. But he does save it, drops it over to his teammate. And Dignitas, they're back in the lead.
Yeah, a much stronger performance. You could see that small indecision there from Finnegan. That's what I was kind of talking about, where I felt as though they were going for more individual plays. I was surprised that there wasn't somebody sort of accompanying him in a pistol, you know, give him that sort of pace breaker, give him a bit more room so that he can easily trade things out with the rifle. But even still, that does get into a position where ESPADA, had they found a double kill on any of those players, it could have been a lot more difficult for Dignitas to hold.
It does get punished, Finnegan as well, and yeah, an absolute collapse onto the site once again by Dignitas. They're able to cleanly secure the rounds as the gaps in ESPADA's defense are being completely exploited now by Dignitas. Yeah. Great utility usage to force the issues, and well, at the end of the day, it's just coming down to clean plays from them, though.
Yeah, you can see the lapse of appropriate protocols for ESPADA. They are reacting in, I would say, the right ways to what Dignitas are doing, but it's just that small bit of hesitance, the idea of not really putting yourself in the best position to make that rotation. Those seconds add up. Counter-Strike is a game of small moments and small timings. So if you are even off by a fraction of a second on T sides in particular, especially when it comes down to spacing, that can be a mistake that, although isn't the only reason you would lose the round, can certainly be a contributing factor. Right now, ESPADA just feel a little slow. Dignitas doing a good job of collapsing these sites, finding these entries like we saw them do on Overpass as well. Now they're beginning to show us why this is a strong and staple map in their pool across many different histories.
See if they've still got it in them for an outside execute. They've read this quite well. They know that even if there is an AWP in play, they've smoked off a strong majority of the angles, but they should know this is only going to be down on pistols, surely. Commitment into that previous round. Freiburg does find one in the form of Dima, and now we're going to be looking and hunting for just a little bit more. Patsy, he's able to take down Exist though, but Ulzak there to trade it back. 2 Deagles available for ESPADA right now in Softic and Finnegan. Just peek on through, they might be able to catch the AWP off guard, but Dark is just going to be holding. No rush here for Dignitas. They know they need to execute out on a site, but they're happy to just save some time. Finnegan now, Deagle in hand, waiting for this push. He misses a lot of the shots, but does find Freiburg towards the end of it. Gets absolutely collapsed on from behind as Forrest finds that frag. Softic, he checking left and right, but Forrest is gonna get spotted. He taps him down now in a 1 versus 2.
10 seconds.
The bomb's not down either. Get right, you need to plant this, dude. There's an AK on Dexter, but Get right flashing the site. It does well, but oh, maybe he's actually going to be able to find 2 here, but only the first. Again, while Dignitas, they didn't feel like they needed to move fast through this round. It's ESPADA that actually capitalized off the back of the slow play.
Yeah, the good timing as well, coming up through the vent. That's where it all really shifts on its head. The fact that Forrest gets distracted, the bait and switch between the 2 players left on ESPADA. And that's just too tall an order. That slower play, like you were saying, time comes up against Get Right. He has to force himself into a plant, and that allows more rifles to be recovered. That looked like the glimpse at what a round could have been a couple rounds ago for ESPADA. Again, another sort of low buy from them makes it very competitive, this time actually pushing it over that line. Because haven't been the cleanest.
No, they haven't. They haven't at all. They need to get better. These should be rounds that they're securing. Dex is still on 6k after saving that up. Exists has been able to rotate all the way through, and what? Is he going to knife him? No, he's just going to go and tap him in the side of the head. Make sure that AWP is taken out of the picture. Demon now still going to be defending the B site. Surprise, no sound at all was made. Oh, Softic. Okay, you need to be careful about blocking your teammate, but you find one. Freiburg taken down by Finnegan, and the white peak from Demon now. 2 versus 2. They span down one more and existed the last guy remaining, with the bomb nowhere to be seen either. He needs to piece this together, but he spotted both of the players out. Flash goes on through the vent. Now it's hoping to connect onto them, and while it does, it's not a full wipe, and Demon is able to still shoot through it. It's 12-12 as ESPADA in these last couple of rounds have really stepped up their game, and hopefully, for their sake, they're able to continue it. Jump quickly back to that. Look at just how chaotic that round went.
And it's crucial that Dima gets those kills, otherwise the deep flank from Secret isn't going to come through in time for ESPADA before they can get to the site. So it does enough to slow Dignitas down, and their money was looking good. The past couple rounds, they'd won for Dignitas, but their coffers are beginning to feel a little thin, a little lighter. You see the compromises they're having to make bringing weapons into this round. Exists onto a Galil, Halzerk on a Deagle.
Before, I think it was Forrest, right? Where everyone else had a rifle, but he was the only person who didn't. And I'm quite surprised we don't see Get Right or even Forrest here when they're on 1.3k just buying an SMG for him, just so we can have something more than this Deagle. I mean, sure, I appreciate some people enjoy the weapon, but going up against rifles, you kind of want a high rate of fire. Nevertheless, Softic on the site sprays down one, but it's Finnegan who picks up the pieces here. And it's every man for himself on ESPADA. They're all finding frags. There's no one standout performer, really. It is everyone just working as a team, and ESPADA now, they have been able to secure their lead just a little bit more, and because of that buy in that previous round for Dig, look at them.
Yeah, not in an ideal spot. A save here, ESPADA up to 14. And that was the same site collapse that Dignitas had in a previous round. This time there just wasn't a Molotov on the other side of the smoke to prevent a play through the smoke. Actually, almost felt like Dignitas wanted to call a timeout to start off this round as well. Nobody really moved off of spawn, but I think they've used both of theirs, so...
I do believe they have, you're right.
I'm clicking the timeout button, but nothing's happening.
But it says 0 out of 2, but it should still work, right? So an easy frag there. Dima, gorgeous hold. Oh, almost a 4K, but he only gets 3. And Dexter closed it out. 14-12 now. Dignitas once again on the ropes, and this time on their map pick. They have a buy. They need it. And it looks like they do have another timeout, apparently. Maybe it's 3 they get. Seems like last round it didn't go through in time. Kind of just rushed into a single point. Just to be able to get the round over and done with.
I actually prefer timeouts when you actually have a buy, so...
Yeah. Maybe they try to do it and then cancel it straight away. Because they realise, okay, it's kind of pointless to do that now.
Somebody misclicked the vote.
Who is it that uses their kind of like eco buys as timeouts? Did Simple do that at some point?
I think it was Existence. I think it was Existence on Titan.
That's
God.
name I haven't heard in ages.
You're making me look like an idiot on broadcast. I hate it.
I don't know either.
I've always been terrible at history. You know, names, dates.
I just remember there was one team in, I believe it was EU, that used to do that, and it worked pretty well.
It was definitely a French lineup. That much I am certain. I'm actually pretty confident in my guess, but
yeah,
it's
we're checking after the call.
There's that small sliver of doubt. It's like I've got my history all mixed up. But this is feeling like last chance saloon, really, for Dignitas. A must-win round on the rifles. Get right forth. They both get opening frags. Dexter's there on the rotation, though. He finds the kill. Freiburg canceling out Dima as well, and they actually get it done. Dignitas find a flurry of frags on that A-bomb site so rapidly that they, I mean, do or die, they thrive.
A really, really nice performance from them there. There was just a couple of whiffs on the ESPADA guys. The flashes that went out onto the site means that they couldn't really do anything else. Dexter finds one frag, we find a second. Maybe that's a more winnable round, but... Oh, it's a full buy on both sides. Dima is down on that UMP. Love this little corner from Patsy. Found anything with it though. Push downstairs from Dignitas in through Secret, potentially on this bomb site, but they're still not certain where they want to go. Still a couple of players on that A site. Bomb being one of them. If they're going to dive down vent, they need to do it soon. If they're going to execute on A, it needs to happen even sooner. A minute and 3 on the clock, and now we see the push. Finnegan with the spray takes down one, but he's only good for one in the initial engagement. Repeats again, takes down the second. Forrest exists now. Last 2 guys remaining exists on 6 HP. Dima with this nade can do absolute damage to exist. The call out was perfect. Forrest is going to take down 2, lines up 1, now against an AWP, has a flash, peeks the angle, punished by Dexter. 15-13 on your own map pick, but there's not going to be a substantial buy from ESPADA. Only going to be this all.
That site hit. I mean, we'll get to see it. Okay, actually, from the little demonade, that is a cute little call out. But the initial site hold where Dignitas are committing outdoor, one of them dies to their own Molotov.
Oh no, did they really?
Yeah, there's at least a team frag if it's not a 1G in itself. But the spacing just a little bit off, the pathway that they're taking for the fights. I think he was gonna,
left in 10.
yeah, I think he was gonna die anyway to the spray, but
most likely, but
it's, you know, that small chance, maybe not.
I love this angle. Dexter actually connects on Forrest there. The amount of spam damage that is dealt there. Dexter's down to 46, Finnegan on 39, and Softic, well, he retakes their place. And Dignitas have got to be thinking, okay, well, we've just spammed that angle. We've heard that we've hit a couple of things. There's no chance they're still going to be holding it, and that's why he's holding it with this shotgun. The XM10 can do so much damage at this sort of range. Just going to wait for the peak. That might never come. D on the X-ray, Dignitas just slow pushing up through Squeaky. The second they hear this burst, they're going to know the jig is up, and Spada, they're going to have to try and play this one. Finnegan's on 39 HP. He knows he's got a lot to work with here, but he's not going to be able to do it. Freiberg taps him down. Still, Softic finds one kill, one to get right, upgrades himself to an AK, now on a 2 versus 4. Has this really just been turned around by an XM10 kill? I can't believe this has just happened. Hulzerk with the AWP, does get the bomb planted. Freiberg's still going to be holding as well. They need to play out the back of each other absolutely perfectly, and if they don't, this is it. The definition of last chance saloon for Dignitas. Borderline their final round. Freiberg finds one, brings it a little bit more level. Now in a 2 versus 2. Pasty finds one. Hulzerk, AWP in hand, hasn't been spotted out, takes down one of them. AWP versus AWP now. Dexter's on the bomb. He might just hold it for all its might. And no, he actually holds it. He holds it and taps it. He taps it around, but it's the flick and kill from Hulzerk. He had 2 chances to hold it. He had that round. He had the map. He had the series. We just wanted to go for the kill. Oh.
That is... I don't use it often, but that is a big blunder.
Twice, Yumi. Twice. He had him down to rights both times. And instead holds... I mean, when you've got like a second remaining on the bomb, I don't know why you just don't stick it. And now look at the buy.
Maybe it was a misclick. I actually...
Twice?
The first time, and then the second time, it's like, oh, I've tapped. I'm trying to find.
But he holds it for about 3 seconds.
I'm trying to find a flowchart in my head. Oh. That makes sense.
There's no flowchart. This Venn diagram has no circles. The blank piece of paper of things you don't do. That. Well, these Deagles have got to come absolutely massive right now, because if they don't, we go to an overtime. And I don't think ESPADA are going to really want that to happen. Of course, they're going to be happy they get to continue playing in this. And Dignitas, they know they're on their last chance here. Patsy finds one in the form of Get Right. Nade goes on through, and it's damage onto Exist. And, oh no, just Exist, it seems like. Hulzerk picks up one more. Finnegan, oh, they don't check the angle, and somehow he doesn't get punished for it. What? Now on a 2 versus 2 again, and it's Deagles available this time. Nade onto the side, it's going to deal quite a bit. Ema through the smoke. Oh, the 1D! Freiberg's so low! You've got a Mac 10, you can't be losing this, man! The peak's coming around from Dexter!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, when he was on 25 HP! If the nade landed just a little bit closer, then maybe that would have done it, but... Dear Lord, Dignitas. A cat has 9 lives. An owl, apparently, has about 30. Because that is ridiculous. The amount of chances they have been given.
Yeah, in a different world, this map is over already. But Dignitas have somehow found the timeline to bring us to an overtime. Their second overtime of the day, mind you. They only had 3 series. Dignitas is not having the cleanest of performances, in particular with these anti-ecos. I was caught off guard, but I think Dexter actually hit a shot while still on the ladder that made it easier to get a kill heaven. So, I mean, some stars aligning for ESPADA, for sure. It should never come as close as that. Relying on a Mac 10 to force the overtime. Hey, I mean, mission accomplished, I suppose.
Give me a heart attack. Yeah, they've done a really good job of that one, Yumi. Dear Lord. What a way to take us to overtime as well. I mean, this could now go either way completely. There's going to be 4 buys on every single player. 16k across the board, remember, in this format. So fires for the entire half. No excuses now. Everyone has what they need. It's not on a light-buy basis. And in all honesty, I do favour ESPADA. The fact that they were able to bring that down to a 1v1, get Freiburg down to 25 HP in the final round of official play on pistols, of all things. And now they're about to just be given a round where it's like, well, they'll be given 6 rounds where it's like, hey, buy whatever you want. Have some fun. See what sort of damage you can do on this CT side. I think they're going to be able to do quite a lot. Unless we see those really hyper-aggressive plays from Dignitas that we've been seeing out on that A site. Maybe a burst onto B as well through Vent. But
see, I actually want to say, I think now that money's not an issue, I think Dignitas take the overtime. I think they've been better against rifles when ESPADA have had them as well than they have against these lower, scrappier buys.
It shifted. It shifted again.
Yeah.
Dignitas now the favourites of our partners over at LootBet. See at the top of your screen. Let's see how this one pans out. Single AWP setups on both sides. Rifles on the remaining 8 players. Jackson needs to find this opening, surely. Double smoke goes down, and yeah, there was a bit of a gap, but Dexter, well, there's a massive one there, Forrest. You throw 4 smokes down outside, and you peek the one angle that doesn't have anything covering it.
Yeah, they need these entries to be swift towards this lower side of the map. They have no smokes to eliminate angles. They'll need to set up in a pretty spread out to even secure the plant. Well, ESPADA, they're still honoring as well that Dignitas haven't fully committed towards the lower side of the map. We can see that they're exploring towards Secret. Really just trusting in Dima. I think he's cuddled himself up into a nice little niche position in a dark. This could get Molotov out. Oh, he's actually holding for it, but there's the bomb dropped, spotted there on the side of ESPADA. Exist going to be able to recover that and get the bomb planted. They still have this lurking presence as well from Get Right. The first kill there. The second, is it going to get lined up? He turns away. Finnegan finds the timing, just caught between 2 mines as the steps come in from behind. But now a 3-on-2 for ESPADA to retake with.
Just going to be holding the headshot angle inside of Shadow right now. He's waiting for someone to peek into his line of sight. Spots out one of them, and the spray, that is not clean. He doesn't even actually get the kill. Drops Patsy down to 10 HP, but now it's just on Hulzerk with the AWP. And you can't whiff you can't whiff that either. The bomb needs to be defused very, very quickly. I mean, there's enough time for a kit, but oh, Dig, another round, which should have been theirs.
Oh no.
Sounds like your head's in your hands right now, you.
That's just, yeah, that's sad to see.
It is.
Because Hulzerk, he gets that kill, he draws enough attention away, I feel like.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's close enough to get the secondary kill as well. It seemed to line up for him, but the first shot, I'm a little unsure as to how it doesn't hit, but maybe a little bit of movement. Not letting the accuracy just sit. Really, really unfortunate. We'll see if they can get something done in this round. Not a good start, though. Patsy's sound exists to start things off. Freiburg, Hulzerk, they take a lot of damage from the Molotov, but they'll get ramp control. They can get some early control of this lower site as ESPADA now rotate in.
Extra from Decon is about to burst on out. He spots down one in the form of Forest. Nope, closes the door behind him. I'm done there. I'm going to rotate over. Maybe just waiting for another opportunity to burst on out. Hulzerk, Tech9, hello! And he's redeemed himself from that previous round. Lovely couple of kills with that weapon there. Now just Softic and Dexter. You need to push on up. Oh, look at that rotate. Yeah, absolutely blindsided there. Get Right, AK in hand. Dear Lord, man. Lovely 1D. And, well, you were right in what you were saying before we went into this overtime that ESPADA, they've struggled up against these rifles, but it looks like Dignitas, whatever they're trying, just they aren't able to make it stick. But look at these lovely Tech9 kills from Hulzerk during the CT just ragdoll on the stairs.
Yeah, on the T side half, Dignitas have typically been finding the entries. They've been winning a lot of the opening duels, but now in the overtime, ESPADA are finding the opening picks. They're the ones taking the initiative. They're the ones coming out ahead to start things off, and that's making things a little bit more difficult for Dig. Even with concerted efforts. I mean, Dexter has really come to play this map. He's on 31 kills so far. He opens up another round here for ESPADA, and now they're jumping through smokes. They're getting desperate on the side of Dignitas. A bit of space to be garnered their direction, but they have to do so at a big cost. They lose another player. They again get lower site control, but ESPADA, 5-on-3, they'll be happy to play this for a retake.
There's utility available for Dignitas, but only one form of damaging, that being Forest with his Molotov. 4 flashes going to be available. That goes down quite early on into this to be able to block that push coming on through from ramp. But the nade onto 2, it deals damage, but Hulzerk's there to be able to pick up the pieces. Dexter peeks the angle, punished for it. Now we're in a 3 versus 2. Dignitas are doing pretty well to be able to keep themselves in this. But the site's been lost. The spray comes on through. The spam from that M4 as well as Finnegan closed it out. It's 3 clean rounds for ESPADA. And now they just need one round on the T side. And I feel like that is more than doable with the way they've been playing.
Yeah, retake after retake after retake. I mean, ESPADA just hold on to those man advantages each and every time, and Dignitas couldn't get the shots to land. They couldn't hit those pivotal moments. I thought maybe that last round, it would have been enough. The fact that they get control of that elbow position down towards Secret means that the players don't have to burn alive in the Molotov. But still, it wasn't enough. Like you said, it only needs 1 round here for ESPADA. The Dignitas CT side wasn't the cleanest. They struggled to find their feet for a large portion of it. They brought it to an 8-7 half, if we don't forget. Especially with Dexter awakening towards the start of the second half and now carrying that into the OT. Things get dangerous. GetRight's got a secondary ult for the Dignitas side. He's looking to hold things down towards ramp.
Lining up the opponents, but they're through walls, so he has no idea that they are there. Passing games like this makes me realise that sometimes I should just blind fire through walls sometimes. Hope for the best. Especially on maps like Nuke, because you never know when you're going to be lining up with 2 separate players. Low push outside from ESPADA. They've gained a lot of control with these smokes, being able to block off all of Garage. No gap in that either. As one of them's fade. Oh, Patsy somehow, even with the smoke still fading, spots that one. Freiburg now on the rotate. Smoke goes down to be able to block the push through Secret, but something tells me ESPADA aren't going to be too scared of that. Do fall back to try and take mid controller. Smoke goes outside. Demon knows where it's been thrown from. Forrest has rotated back through to CT, and I wonder if he's going to be expecting this angle. No, he's not. Hulzerk opens up the round with the first break. The team is there to trade it back with relative ease. 4-4 now. Ooh, make that 4-3. A lovely shot from GetRight. There is some trade damage, but are they going to check for Freiburg? No, they're not. Close range. He punishes them. Now they need to push. Tech 9 in hand for Dexter. He's trying to make some magic happen like we saw from Hulzerk, but Hulzerk with a no-scope takes down 1, and Patsy going to be punished as well. 4 players surviving for Dignitas, even with low time.
Yeah, that kill there from GetRight makes all the difference. He falls there. Suddenly the A bomb site is a little bit more vulnerable. You can see they're posturing up for it, but as soon as GetRight finds that frag, immediately the change of direction there from ESPADA, realizing that they didn't have too much control of anything to get a bomb site in their possession. Having to go past Secret, getting blinded up as well. It wasn't ideal. Signs of life from Dignitas on the CT side. Now they've got that secondary up online as well. Maybe a little bit of a more difficult one to crack on the ESPADA side. Back to defaults, it seems, for them.
Remember, ESPADA, they just need on a single chink in the armor for their opponents. They need 1 round, that's it. Don't know if they can really bank on Dignitas making too many mistakes, though. I know we've seen a few of them, but they're in overtime. They are the most heightened mode you can probably get in. Especially on your own map pick. You know it's do or die, and well, you want to make sure you go to that third map. Freiburg's going to be on the same angle. Are they going to flash it this time? No, they're not. They're going to go completely dry once again. Make it 3. Unfortunately, not a 4th, though, as Dexter trades it back. But this is what I'm talking about. They're doing the same things, and they're not changing it. Dexter gets taken down now, and it just leaves Finnegan in a 1 versus 4.
Yeah, the bomb's nowhere near him. So many angles to clear. Dealing damage to the CT side economy, it doesn't really matter because we have practically unlimited money in the overtimes. What a hold from Freiburg, man. First kill, second. I mean, it just makes it look so easy.
Why don't I watch him pro matches? I go into MM, I try and do that, and it's like, why can't I do that? It makes it's so easy. He just did it like that.
All about visualization. So guys, they're gonna peek me right here.
And another one. And another one.
Yep, easier said than done. That much I'm sure both of us are aware of. Well, this could end up in another overtime. Dignitas have looked good on this CT side. Thought maybe ESPADA would be able to find one exploitable angle, one site collapse that would get to work in their favor. This will be the last chance in doing so. Get right with the AWP, rotating into the angle, finds Patrick to start things off. Yeah, they can't trade him out. It's a lot of damage done to him, but they still keep 5 alive here on Dig. Again, space will be given up to this T side to take control of the lower site, and Halvik is here. Oh no, missed shot. Saltfix able to equalize the endeavor.
And now down to 4. He's just about to burst out a decon or not. Just open it up, reveal his position, and doesn't find anything. Looks towards Shadow, but nothing there as of yet. Forest inside of vent. No one's checked this as of yet. Exist does spam down Soptic. Peeks on through, takes down another. Forest finally adding to the scoreline. When it comes to OT, Finnegan taken out of the round as well, and that is going to secure an OT2. 18 to 18. Move again. We reset. Last 6 rounds, they didn't happen.
Another series, another Dignitas, a different opponent, another double overtime.
What happened in that second overtime that we saw? Obviously, with Dignitas starting off strong, they're able to get more than what they needed to be able to secure the half, secure the game as well.
See the odds from our partner at Loopbet, and yeah, they still remained the same. It's like, oh, okay, you answer with 3 of your own, fine, we'll give you that respect.
Do ESPADA have a harder time here, do you think, now that they're not starting on the CT side? Do you think Dignitas, because they've built that momentum over the last few rounds, that they're able to just continue with that?
I would say mentality-wise, yes, but knowing the games that I've casted when it gets to overtime, I feel like ESPADA are just going to win this round. And well,
there we go. Okay, quite as simple as that really, isn't it? They open up with 2 gorgeous frags. Forest down on 13 HP. Get right on the rotate. Potentially you're about to get punished here as well. You're not able to spam through that wall, of course. Nade goes down range. It's chip damage onto both of them. So could be an easy couple of frags there, but I think that's all it's going to be as the bomb's gone down and we haven't even seen a single CT player push onto the site as of yet. Yeah, and it's going to be Patsy finds 1, Timo another. Pulls out. He wants to at least get a frag in this round, and he does. But it's going to be the only one on his side. See, ESPADA, why couldn't you do that 2 rounds ago?
So I want to justify my line of reasoning, right? Because it happens all the time, it feels like. You watch pro games, you watch FPL, you watch... Even if you just tune into Pug sometimes, it'll be like, you don't win, you're in, like, say, 15-7 against your opponent. And it'll take you years to figure out what to do. Then you get into the overtime, it's like, okay, you know what we were doing? Nah, we're not doing that anymore. We're changing it up. We're just doing something a little bit different. And it takes you until it gets to that point that you finally, like, break the writer's block, it almost feels like.
Well, this sort of setup we're seeing from the T's right now. It looks like it is almost an exact replica of the previous round, apart from now they baited out onto the A site and they are bombarding themselves onto B. Get Right finds one in the form of Sophic, and Freiburg with the backup from Deacon takes down one of his own as well. They're picking up kills here as the bomb, apparently a sphere, rolls down the ramp onto the site, and it's not planted, but it leaves it completely out of hands of ESPADA.
Well, Dexter will make it slightly more interesting. Finds a kill on Exist. Does bring the numbers game slightly closer. Finnegan, this is the high pressure angle, though. Get Right's been good for those duels, and he's good for it again. Dexter will finally put that player out of his misery. It's actually not Get Right. It's instead Freiburg, who is there to support, but he's low HP. You can see the spam coming out from Hulzerk up above. He's hoping to get a Hail Mary, but Dexter, caught in a reload, Forrest will happily capitalize. An equal scoreline now as we move to the last round of the half.
If ESPADA can take this first half of OT2 20-19, then they'll set them up for a pretty decent CT side. I think that's going for outside control right now, or at least they were for a couple of moments. Sophic, so much ground made up once again, and there's no one there to be able to stop him pushing all the way downstairs. Freiburg's not in a position to be able to pick them off this time. He is going to begin rotating over, but I haven't seen the bomb yet. You know that there's the potential of at least one person down here, but he does find out who that person is. Sophic picked up the kill. Dexter as well finds Hulzerk. There goes Europa. Now in a 3 versus 5.
A chance for ESPADA to get a lead going into that second half of the second overtime. A 5-on-3, giving a lot of respect and understanding that Dignitas are likely to try and take matters into their own hands, try and look for space individually. Get Right will be the man to poke and probe right behind them as they progress in towards the site. He does have Force as well, making the rotation, and he has made steps as well, so that information should be available for ESPADA coming into this.
You'd assume so. Yeah, I think Patsy can hear them pushing down ramp right now, so he's not the person to hold that angle, though. That is up to one of his teammates, who needs to make sure his call-outs are clean. It doesn't look like they're clean enough. Forrest peeks on through, finds a tap. Patsy has still not been spotted as of yet. But he needs backup from his teammates, and yeah, he just doesn't get it. Forrest finds one, Dima trays it back, takes out Forrest. Get Right gets this round right, it seems. 2 versus 2. No time to be able to defuse the bomb, though, as ESPADA, they take it. 20-19. Now they just need 2 on the CT side, and that doesn't seem too hard to believe they can do.
Overtime is always such a tough time to predict how things will go. It almost feels like you get different teams when you get into overtimes. You see glimpses and you see general ideas still prevalent, but the risk assessment and the risks that you're willing to take from either side of the coin, whether it be Dignitas or whether it be ESPADA now that they're in this position, that's where things change. And that's where having so many veteran level players on the side of Dignitas does play into your favor. Especially with ESPADA, recognizing that this is a strong map for Dignitas. If they're able to steal this one out from under them, win the series 2-0, it's not so much as though they'll get a phone call straight away saying, hey, by the way, here's $1 million. You're great. But it at least solidify that they are a team that have been consistently on the rise, and they can take down these bigger opponents, maybe more so in repertoire and reputation than recent results. But even still, like, Dignitas are not a team that you can slouch on, especially when you have a lead. That's when Dignitas are most likely to throw a curveball at you.
100%, and it's just the testament to your analysis earlier, right? The fact that ESPADA's deep map pool is really coming into its own right now. Spray coming on through from Finnegan exists. From the heavens. Lovely little spray there, but it is going to be the man advantage going to the way of Dignitas. We need to see this execute coming on through from Dexter. Bomb yet to go down as it's still in no man's land. Molotov, don't think he wanted it to land there. I'm going to be completely honest. Nade goes down as well. It does drop A little bit of damage, but nothing particularly major. Another flash goes on through. There goes two of them. Dexter, he's fully given up his position here, but he knows he's just got to go for it. Hulzerk picks up one more and get right. Well, levels it out once again. It's 20-20. If Dignitas can have a clean T side, we go to our third map of Inferno. ESPADA can at least win one round here. We have a semi-guaranteed OT3.
We knew it was going to be close. If this was going to be a Dignitas map, it was going to be close. I didn't expect a double overtime, but here we are nonetheless. This isn't the best map in the pool for ESPADA. They are finding at least some success. Dignitas again fast throughout door, but Sophic found the first to get right. Finnegan able to get one as well. Sophic not able to get the backstab secured, but Halswick is suddenly left in a 1 versus 3, and he's looking to bail them out. The first kill there, the bomb dropped on the site, and he knows where at least one of these players is.
Knows he's on backside, and I think he knows about the lobby player as well. If they line up, this could go dreadfully. Finnegan knows that, okay, I don't need to play off the back of this one, but he goes for it anyway. Halswick spams the body. He's like, you don't peek me again, dude. 3 kills for him, and it's 21-20. And there is a real big chance that they can actually take this round now.
A 1 versus 3 for Halswick to keep them competitive, potentially win the map out for Dignitas ESPADA. They haven't had a round yet on the CT side, looking for their first to force a third overtime. Already behind schedule, but Halswick's looking to continue that trend.
Really nice pickup onto Dima there, and we've seen Dima play incredibly passive over towards ramp round after round, but instead this time, first time I think he actually goes for a peek early in this. He does get punished for it, and going to be kicking himself for that one. Movement's been heard outside. They heard the chain link fence movement. They know it is going to be a bit of a rotate. Wonder if that's been called or not, though. Don't think it has, because there's no outside hold. There's no real B defense to speak of. Looks like we've got a rotate coming through from Patsy through Secret, but be so clean with these shots.
Oh my goodness, gonna meet them with the elbow. Oh my goodness, Dexter's found 2. Patsy's close as well, but caught with the knife out. Forrest is there to cover. A man advantage now as Dignitas look to collapse the site. ESPADA, no. They've got Sophic already down towards the lower areas on the rafters, and they've called for Finnegan to make that rotation in as well.
Not much time remaining on the clock right now. 25 seconds as the time continues to tick down. 20 left now. Sophic has now been spotted out. Exist and Forrest, they are able to close it out. And while it didn't look like it was possible, Dignitas, from the ashes of defeat, take us to our fiery third map of Inferno. Dear Lord.
Yeah, that last map, or that last round in particular, I mean, that is ridiculous. ESPADA, they make the right call. They're a man down. They push through lobby. They see nothing. They hear the rotations coming, going towards outside, and they stack predominantly towards fight. They get Dexter in a prime position to thrive. He has a teammate with him, but Forrest just does enough. He gets the 2 kills necessary to get them a pathway into the site, and that was all that was necessary. It was pretty, I mean, it was close to call, but they have Halswick bail them out in that 1v3, and then Forrest stepping up to secure them the last round there to bring us to that third map.
Yeah, that victory is all on Halswick. The fact that if he doesn't win that 1v3 at the same level that he did there, the kind of new blood in this roster with Dignitas, it just goes to show that he's playing with the big dogs for a reason. Fantastic shots from him, and, well, we saw it throughout this entire game, right? The fact that he was stepping up. We saw it from the other AWPers as well. Everyone in the server kind of coming to the top of their game. And, well, that's why we went to a double overtime, almost a triple for crying out loud. But that is it. That is our second map. Overpass goes to way of ESPADA. Dignitas, they take their map pick of Nuke. And now we move to our third and final map in your upper bracket best of 3. It's going to be Inferno. Guys, grab yourself a drink. Grab yourself something to eat. We'll be back very, very soon.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo! Damn! That was one of the best tickle fights I've been to.
Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Welcome back to week number 9 of Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. My name is Cody, this is Yumi. If you are just joining us this third and final map, you have missed a fantastic double overtime on Nuke. It was really looking like ESPADA were going to be able to close out the series 2-0 after taking their map pick relatively convincingly to 16-8. But then it was 22-20. Dignitas, they came back in the last few moments, literally. I'm wondering if they've got anything left for this third map, to be honest with you, Yumi.
Well, you certainly hope so. We get to see the king of banana himself on the fabled map. I mean, Freiburg, the banana man, he has a history on this map. Dignitas, their recent results don't really reflect their ability to play it. Same as their Nuke. Just the fact that this old guard has been around for so long, and they've played many an iteration of Inferno, Nuke, hell, Cobblestone. You throw that into the mix, Mirage as well. They've been and seen it all. So this is a bit more of an equal Stevens map. Both teams are fairly competent. ESPADA, more recent results, but not quite up into the same levels of competitions at times. But even I'm right there with you. I think Dignitas showed us what they could do. In particular, when we got to the overtimes, we saw some great individual plays from the star players. We even saw a great 1 versus 3 from Halzberg to even allow them to take the second map out from ESPADA's advantage that they got earlier. So I think it's a bit harder to call for this one. I thought if it was going to be a Dignitas win, it had to go to 3 maps. I thought Nuke would be close, but ESPADA will be a little bit disheartened by the fact that could have been a 2-0. That could have been their map to win.
Yeah, by all means. Of course, this does give them a little bit of time to be able to reset, though. That Nuke game was a long game. We were there for a while. As you mentioned earlier, we are very much behind schedule because double overtime does that to you. And we've had 2 of those, both at the hands of Dignitas over on training, their best one between the Vez, and now on Nuke as well between ESPADA. So now we're moving to Inferno. Something inside of me tells me that one team will come out on top instead of this being a lot closer. I don't know which way it will go because we've seen from both of these maps so far that this has been an incredibly close series. Less the first map, more the second. The fact that Nuke went that distance and we saw some great plays from all 10 players on the server, then hopefully with the experience of Dignitas, they aren't completely spent and there's nothing else they can bring to the table. And, well, hopefully for ESPADA, they're not too disheartened for them to be able to continue and move into Inferno with actually any form of momentum. Of course, they're going to be upset that they can't 2-0 the series, but it is what it is. Win the game, then you can 2-0 a series. Quite simple as that. But it sounds like the knife round is indeed going to be live, so we're going to transition over
to that right now. As you can see, it's Inferno. Everyone's decided to spawn. We've got that overhead view of mid. Let's see who's first with Bloodmore. Is it going to be Dignitas? Is it going to be ESPADA? Yumi, do you think there's any form of direct advantage of either of these sides?
I actually think if Dignitas start on the T side, they'll have a better shake of things. But hey, I think that's what will happen. ESPADA will pick CT, Dignitas will start on T. And we'll just have to see which take we get of Dignitas, given that it is a pretty... I don't know. It was a pretty hard series to call in that second map, and the shining light had to come down to individuals. Of course, there was some composition. There was a grand scale plan, but it was those micro decisions, those small moments that made all of the difference. I think ESPADA are going to play a little bit more loose than what I would traditionally call them for, just because of a lack of real deep leadership. They are very reliant. They are very chemistry based. They work off each other well. And you can see our partners over at Loopbet, they actually think Dignitas are going to have a slight edge in this map. But we'll have to just wait and see. The pistol round very much underway. Sophic has the kit and the flash. And we're still in the overhead view, but hopefully we'll get some perspective on the players, because the Dignitas side have 2 sets of utility for the T side to operate off of.
A bit of a fight going on right away as well, as Halzberg's able to take down Dexter. A nice opening there, the 2 Warpers battling up against each other on the pistol round. See this push through mid right now.
Our observer is asleep at the wheel. Oh, there he is. He's regained control of the vehicle.
Patsy going to be holding the site, flashed out completely, pulls up, wide peaks on through, takes down 2, Exist does the same as well, but Dima, oh. 3 for him, but Forrest closed it out with a double kill.
Well, just like that, the round starts and finishes in the opening 45 seconds of the round. Dignitas collapse on the site. Dima does a good job of keeping it competitive, but 1 man up for Dignitas is all that's necessary. ESPADA forced buy into it. They've got the scout on Dexter, a decent amount of utility across the board in smokes, and an MP5 from Get Right. It's not one that's favored all too frequently. Okay, Dexter. I didn't even really think he hit that shot. It was so, I don't know, ludicrous to go for, but hey, he'll happily take that every day of the week.
We take those.
That we do.
That takes one of the AKs out of the round as well. Kulzok was one of them to buy on up into it, along with Forrest. Stopvik is hoping he can find something as they push on towards Archers. The flashes there, but Exist staring directly into the wall, tries to outthink himself just a little bit too much there, as it does cause his death. Eagles are doing so much damage. Forrest hasn't got a chance. They need to recover as many of these weapons as they can within the last couple of seconds, but ESPADA, they bring it level straight away. Can't help but think that was all off the scout kill inside a mid from Dexter.
That is, yeah, I don't know what that was, actually. You lose that initial kill, you just get crossfired by the Deagles. It was a strong setup for ESPADA, but we touched upon it on Nuke. The fact that the anti-ecos haven't been the cleanest for Dignitas so many times, it felt like ESPADA were still in the rounds, even with lower buys, and well, maybe some of that transfers over to our third map. Dexter, this time rushed down by Halzerk. The tag was hit, but not going to be able to seal it in with the nade. Patsy is trapped into the apartments as well. It's a player that's lurked in underneath, but Sophic on the rotation. He's good enough for 1, and he's causing a lot of havoc, but this turmoil now as Dignitas are scrambling to try and get this bomb planted, but they collapse. ESPADA, they're on the rotations. They keep 3 up. They keep the rifles predominantly in their control. Dignitas, although they got that initial space, it's not going to be enough.
Good attempt there from Dignitas as they committed into the round, but ESPADA was ready and waiting for them. Dignitas now, they do have to just have a seat in this round. They can't really fight up against these weapons. Still have Dexter and Dima going into the anti-eco here. They know that the weapons that they're about to go up against are not going to be the best, so looking to farm as much money as physically possible.
Really not much of a concerted effort anywhere for Dignitas in the round.
Waiting, aren't they? Like, this is a really passive hold, actually. Like, are they expecting ESPADA to get too aggressive and just hunt for them? Because I don't think ESPADA are like that. I know they can get aggressive, but it's usually only on their T side. And then when they get aggressive on the CT, it's short bursts. It's not sprinting down to the other side of the map.
Yeah, and it's not like they don't know the economy for Dignitas, so less of an incentive to push when it's just Glocks. Okay. Glocks or not, Force gets 2 kills. Okay, Force got 3rd. Surely not.
Oh,
Back and forth rounds. Force is looking to ace this. Just off of Glocks.
Yes, going to be able to do so. I mean, he's about to get lurked on round. There is Forrest and Southern CT behind you. He's hunting for the ace. No way. Is he going to go for a knife?
Not.
He's honest. Exist.
Oh, it
Exist.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no ace there, but it is still going to be a
I don't believe it, man.
crisp, clean kill for Exist. And realistically, he didn't want that Glock kill. He wanted the knife kill. We all could see what was going on with the minimap. I know. I can't believe it either. I can't believe this is so back and forth.
Glocks!
They lose to Glocks. Oh,
That is actually
jeez.
unbelievable. How does Forrest get 2?
How does Forrest get 4?
Yeah. I mean, he picked up the rifle, so I mean, a little bit. Yeah, but that is a round that it should never be lost for ESPADA. They're trying to make it work with their own standard issue pistols, but it's being met with limited results. Damage onto existing get right. They kill off Halzerk, but Patsy's left. He's got an M4. And they're just going to circumvent him altogether.
Hear the push. Going down T mid. Wonder if he's going to be checking under. Because he might get peeked out by Exists here. Thinking about dropping down. Get right there to help him out as well, but it's Get Right who finds the kill instead of the MP9. 4 players survive as Dignitas definitely come around to play now. ESPADA have a bye. Still going to be forcing 2 players onto, well, the best of weapons. MP9 onto Dima, for Mars onto Sophic. There is an AWP in play for Deskina.
He positions himself over towards Bananas to start things off. Early Molotov standard as usual, and Dexter hits the shot, Exist peering into him, not giving him the appropriate respect. He was blinded, but he held the angle and got the timing just right.
Bit of a dink there. Inside of mid through the smoke. Doesn't convert into the kill, but does kind of shake Dignitas's plan up just a little bit. Speaking about shaking up the plan, Dima seems to be ready and waiting for this rotate down Banana. Holding with this MP9. Flash is there, hasn't given up his spot as of yet. I'm really wondering if they know he's here. Well, they check it, but he takes down 1. A lot of damage on the Freiburg as well. Drops him down to 10 HP. Now going to be a 3 versus 3. Health advantage very much the way of ESPADA. 2-1 split. 2 people going from CT. 1 all the way around down Banana, but they might come head first into Get Right, but it gets taken down. Patsy now done the work. Just need to burst out onto the site. There's nades in this as well, actually. With the damage dealt, these 2 players could fall without actually seeing their opponents. There goes 1. And there goes the second. The nades pick up one of them, and Patsy finds Freiburg during that engagement as well. It's a 3rd round for ESPADA, but this is incredibly close. Back and forth, round after round now.
Yeah, the problem is that because Dignitas won that full Glock round, they've got actually a lot of money in spite of how back and forth this has been. So they can comfortably reinvest. Halzerk back on the AWP. They've still got some to spare. Meanwhile, the CT side economy is still looking to get a bit more stable. They get the double up out, Sophic the secondary. Despite of Finnegan's good performance on Overpass, may vary map to map as to who wields the secondary ult for the side. And Dignitas are looking to get a lot of ground early on. Ooh. Dexter punishes the push through the smoke. Get Right able to take down Patsy on the other side of things. And Dignitas, they're still looking to wrap and commit to the site.
Oh, dang. That's so unfortunate that he misses that shot. Forrest punishes him for it as well. And it's going to be an AK recovered by Finnegan. They're still looking to commit into this round, but when you're nading your teammates, that's probably not the best way of doing it. It does just blow up before it can deal damage to any of them, though. In a 4 versus 3, ESPADA going to be in the back of their minds. Do they actually go for this? They don't have too much money available, and it doesn't look like they are going to commit into this one. Yeah. Sophic is over on the B side with the AWP. He's going to be saving that. Finnegan's rotating to join him, and now so is Dima as well. Do not kill the chip. God damn it. Okay, Dignitas are winning this game now. Karma is against ESPADA, killing the lovely wildlife on this map. But it is going to be a 4th round for Dignitas here. They didn't need the help of Karma in this one, just innate skill. All 4 players survive.
Yeah, I think there was that one event that actually tracked how many chickens were killed.
It was It was actually. It was recent.
I want to say it was a
summit.
yeah, I think it was a summit.
Might have been the summit.
But a summit, a peak of a mountain, and the peak of Hellcase or case opening websites. That's Hellcase, the biggest and most known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battle, upgraded dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolute unique features. You can use the promo code MaltaV or MaltaV15 to save more and grab what you deserve.
We were getting annoyingly good at those transitions. Truly a professional.
Thank you.
I like this buy coming on through from ESPADA though. That AWP has been safe in the previous round. Dexter is hoping to do a lot of damage with it, but more of a passive approach as he holds back on the A site instead of that mid angle. Pulls directly back onto the site itself instead of on that first close barrel. So now we see the utility being deployed by Dignitas. Do they choose to commit onto Wade? Do they choose to use this as a fake? No, there's a lot of time on the clock, but Dexter on with Finnegan. They're thinking about peeking it, and they do. Finnegan finds one. Dexter finds one of his own as well. So that puts ESPADA in the driving seat. Dima, looks away at just the wrong moment. I mean, the flash was there to help out, but didn't really connect onto him. Directly into the boards, and bombs are going to go down. They didn't check the site. That is Rule 101 of Counter-Strike, especially when attacking on the B site of Inferno. Check every damn angle. Softpick finds one more as well, and I feel like this is the round now.
Okay, awkward. Through the smoke, Dexter went. Olzerk misses. Dexter misses. They both stare at each other wantingly. But regardless, they get the round win for ESPADA. They get the double up. Softfig can have that safely resting in his hands. And now that money that Dignitas had built up has begun to dwindle. Exists when he buys up. Should be all the reserve cash gone. Actually keeps a relative amount, but it still won't be enough for Dignitas to afford up a buy following. So potential for an easier round ahead if ESPADA come out with this particular win, but it is still very much this back and forth endeavor. Neither team has really found good cumulative rounds.
Yeah, it has more. It's basically been a Dignitas pick up a round. ESPADA get a round. Oh, okay, it's level again. Oh, the same things happen. Oh, this time ESPADA get the round first. Oh, Dignitas now come back. Been no real change since that format after the first pistol round, but seems like the money from Dignitas is weaning off just a little bit now. If ESPADA can pick up this one, then they're back in a more standard position of an advantage.
Yeah, up against Glocks, probably.
I mean, ESPADA, they will lose to Glocks again.
Yeah. We've seen
and
it
then
happen.
we'll be reset right back to where we were.
I'll just walk out of the room if that happens.
Headset off, mic muted,
So, yep.
leaves the room, leaves the cast. So I'm had enough of this. Obviously a bit of an XQ coming onto the A site right now, but it's more just to gain control of CT spawn. Get Right begins pushing on through. The chicken murder as of yet, which is what we like to see, but Softic, great team communication from the guys on the A site though to ensure that Softic can find that frag. Finnegan hasn't been checked, picks up one, Softic through the smoke, Finnegan a second, isn't going to be able to get that third though. Exists now, 11 HP, smoke in hand. What on earth just happens? Thinking 100% Exist saw him just staring at him, and he's like, "Are you gonna let me plan?" Or
Come on, man, don't do it. He plays with his food. I appreciate that. You know, it's BM. It's not traditional BM, but he knows he's outpositioned him. That's good.
it over exists. I had the peak round. That was a stretch. That was a stretch even for me.
What?
It was a high ground joke. Come on.
Yeah, no, I recognize where it was from, but like you said, it wasn't good. You still have much to learn, young Padawan.
Oh, here we go. Off this round like Yoda. Everything's going to be backwards. Anyway, back to a bit of normality.
Well, it's the Force from Dignitas in response, actually. So you're saying that there was a bit of reserve cash left over. They commit around it, and look at the position from Patsy. He gets the first so easily. Finnegan goes uncleared as well. Initially exists. Yeah, the double peak, it's just too strong for ESPADA, and now it's just the pistols left for Dignitas to try and muster together something in the round.
Yeah, the force not strong with this one, as Horzerk going to be the last guy remaining. Recovers an AWP, but I don't know if he even knows he's got it in hand. Does find the shot, and he's actually opened up an opportunity on the A bomb site, but the rotate from B, just too good. An AWP going to be saved. A double AWP set up for ESPADA now. Finally, see a bit of a lead forming.
Yeah, a hard position to try and bring back. Commendable that he even gets two, but he attacks people from the front, and there's people coming from behind. It's the problem with the double-sided lightsabers, is that, you know, more angles for attack. ESPADA had multiple weapons at foot. Just the utility, some Glocks. We saw it work out for them previously, but this time Sotfix starts it off with a flick.
Not again, please.
He's down to 2 HP, so he's really softened up for these pistols. The headshot connects on Dima as well. You're making me nervous.
It's definitely possible, but it looks like the rotators cut this off at the head. Get Right's holding inside of a little corner. Just Get Right things. And now he's getting spammed through the smoke. Dima is going to be the one to find that kill, though. It's a 7th round for ESPADA, now just 1 round away from securing this first half as their own. A timeout going to be called from Dignitas.
We finally get some stability. Like you said, that lead forming now for ESPADA. Winning, what, 3 rounds in a row now?
Yes, it would be.
Maybe 4?
Did they go from 4-3 up? I can't remember. I can't remember if they...
Yeah, I think it is 4 rounds in a row now. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Very good from them, then. Because Dignitas, I mean, as we mentioned quite early on into this, for the first at least, would have been 8 rounds. It was just back and forth.
Yeah.
Neither team could really get a foothold into an advantage, and they did just have to keep trading rounds. Worked in Dignitas' favour, of course, with the back of that Glock round win. A bit more of an economic buffer than the ESPADA guys, but that money's now long gone, and we're going to be seeing a push coming through from Dignitas right away. The nade really forced them back. It slows them down as well, so Dignitas might have been able to pick a couple of them off. They begin their spam through that smoke, but Dima is not going to go down quietly into the night. He is going to try and find this fight. Has a little bit of utility to play around with. Molotov goes down along with that nade into the corner as well, but it's not going to find a frag. He peeks on through and he is punished for it. Sopkit though, hello, peeks the corner, shoots the wall, takes down Freiberg.
Yeah, so all in all, a 1-for-1 exchange. Not conventional in the way that it's traded, but still ESPADA. They'll move forward. Forced as well, down to super low HP. Softened up for the potential site take. They split 2 and 2 apiece. A smoke redeployed by ESPADA over towards B, but now that smoke towards Moto does begin to give up a bit of the game plan here for Dignitas.
Flash to go over as well. It hasn't really connected onto Dexter, but the second one does. But it's actually Patsy who helped out his teammate there. Finished the job on the low HP player, but it's almost instantaneous trade frags here as Forrest is going to fall towards a tail end as well. Take down to 6 HP early on into the round. That ensures ESPADA can handily take and secure the lead for this first half. Now, any round they get is adding onto that buffer from when they swap sides. If they can get up to double digits here, 10-5 half will be dreadful for Dignitas, but ESPADA will be very happy with that one.
Yeah, that was actually a really smart smoke by Dexter. It meant that he wasn't exposed from the apartments while they were fighting for long control. It actually just made it so much more awkward for Dignitas to figure out which angles they had to peek. Could they be in the site? Could they still be fighting for long? And whoa, what a way to start there from Finnegan. A deep peek down middle, the initial frag, and Freiberg will try through the Molotov. He gets the kill, but Finnegan burns him alive. Dexter there to plug up the gap. And just like that, the half investment from Dignitas doesn't seem like it'll muster together too much. Exist will try his hand at it though. Ooh, okay, the kill on Dima is crisp, and Dexter and Sofvig, they'll have to be a little bit cautious.
might be able to get the cross and recover the gun, especially if Softic isn't going to be able to hit the shot. And the fact it's going to be 2 Orcs peeking this, okay, maybe it doesn't matter. You just run him down with a CZ75. I'm quite surprised he didn't fall back to the site to be able to take the peek there. Using all the boxes to his advantage, potentially peeking around those and countering the Orc, but...
Well, just shy of double digits now are ESPADA. 10-5 would be ideal for them. Obviously, Dignitas, they'll try and get every round they can on this T side. They get Halswick back on the AWP, something that I think they'll deem necessary to try and get these rounds underway. He really began to heat up on Nuke, showed us what he was made of, but Sophic, what a way to open things up. ESPADA, again, another opening duel that goes their way on the CT side.
Fantastic team communication about to set up so quickly. Exist. Oh my lord, okay, Exist and Get Right both find frags of their own. Finnegan on the other side of the map, levels the playing field just a little bit more. Now 3 versus 3, but only a single holding player from ESPADA on this B bomb site, but it is going to be Softic on the AWP, and somehow he misses that shot. Very, very surprising that I think he must have shot during his straight back, so 9 times out of 10 he hits that. That was the 1 out of 10. Going to boost on up and he's going to get his head ripped off. Or not. Holzerk actually missing a relatively easy shot, I would say. Should be expecting that sort of angle. It looked like he was looking towards it as well. Now on a 2 versus 2. AWP in hands for Dexter. They need to push together. Are they going to be expecting this hold from Banana? Exist is still going to be there. Molotov available. If they cut this down, there's no smoke to be able to stop the bomb from being defused. And yep, he's going to tap it. Exist is most likely going to tap the Molotov. There it is. The Deagle shot connects, but unfortunately, there's nowhere near enough time on the clock. Dexter, he does forward to the bomb as well. That was a very clean ending to the round for ESPADA. It's 9-5 as we enter round number 15.
Yeah, that miss smoke caused so many issues there for ESPADA. They'd hoped to seal off Banana, make it so that they could crunch the site together. But instead, the smoke lands just shy of the first oranges, doesn't make it, doesn't prevent the sight lines in. It actually made it so that they didn't expect the position to be Banana for the last player to be positioned in for Dignitas. It's the fact that there was no peak, there was sound cues that he could play off of. Playing for the tap, playing for the long game, the Molotov that he had. A different plan. A gentleman's agreement over towards the apartments, the AWP there from Sophic. He'll get the kill as well, fall back. Patsy's been traded out, but Finnegan's receiving a lot of pressure. He does good to get one, but Sophic still chimes through. He has and holds that apartment's position for the retake, and with Dima going down, he'll need to hold on to it as Dexter now makes the rotation in.
39 HP between these 2 Dignitas players. The pistols could do the work for ESPADA, but when there's a rifle available, why not use it? As a matter of fact, with this sort of stack, if Dexter lines this nade up perfectly, might be able to take them both out in one fell swoop, but it's going to be a Molotov into pit, onto Graveyard as well, and comes the nade. Does it bounce? No, it doesn't. Forrest finds one. They know he's both there. He takes down one of them, but Forrest is going to be able to secure a 6th round for Dignitas, but he was low. That was quite lucky where that smoke plumed. He used his enemy smoke to his full advantage there. Sure that a round could be gained. 9-6 isn't a terrible half on the T side, I feel. I feel like there was definitely some opportunities to be able to pick up a couple more, but...
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, especially with how back and forth the start of the game was. You even sort of envision the world where Dignitas don't get the Glocks to work that one round. Maybe it's a little worse, so... At least enough, it feels like, for the T side. You see our odds from our betting partners over at LootBet, and, well, ESPADA still very much in favor. Understandable. More maps played, decent success rate. They have a lead coming into the second half. You know, it checks a lot of the boxes.
100%. And don't forget, guys, LootBet offers 10 free CSGO spins and up to €100 bonus on deposit. Just click the banner underneath the Twitch channel to find out more information about that. But speaking about information gathering, We have ESPADA jumping straight onto the B bomb site. They can hear the USPS. They have no clue where Get Right is, though. They just spam through the smoke, and Patsy finds two of them. Takes down Freiburg, takes down Get Right. Hauser, he's on back from CT, and there's still no bomb plant as of yet. Demo, it takes him a little bit of time to be able to remember the code, but he does get there eventually. Nade into generator. It's Demo. Still going to be there to pick up the pieces. Taps down one, looks for the second in the form of Forrest, but guillotined by that USPS. Forrest has to hold two separate angles now. USPS in hand. Has that diffuse kit as well, but no utility. He's going to hunt down Softstick, and yep, he knows where he is, but he's not able to hit the shot. It's double digits now for ESPADA. They force up into this anti-eco.
Clean double entry from Patsy, and then they just seal it away, playing the 2-on-1. Now, could end up in a situation where, I mean, ESPADA won the force buy on their CT side after losing the pistol. Dignitas will try their hand at it as well. Designated AWPer, or I suppose, scope professional. Makes a bit more sense when they're picking up scouts as well.
Freiburg's stuck right now. Gonna wait for that fire to fade, and I'm surprised you haven't seen a peek here, as smoke is soon to dissipate as well from ESPADA. Speaking about peeking, Ulzerk doing everything in his power to peek as many times within a minute as he can around that corner. Just a few peeks off the world record, though. Inside a T spawn. Should be a relatively easy round for ESPADA here, considering Dignitas are only on the pistols, but it's Deagles on 4, and Hulzerk's still got that scout. We know that Dignitas can be incredibly lethal with these pistols. Actually, looks like Exist has gone for the CZ75 instead of the Deagle. Get Right, not able to find anything other than a little bit of trade damage. They're pushing on through to the site. They find Freiburg, looking for the scout as well, and they do indeed find it, but a skin of their teeth, a random spam does it for them. Now Get Right rotating round, trying to tap down the bomb, but the additional crouch you get when planting that has helped him out wonders. God, he's so close to being lined up.
He's really close. Well, I don't think there'll be any more surprises in the round. Dignitas actually had a good read. That slower probing style from ESPADA in the anti-eco almost works against them. Dignitas had 4 players in position, but they just couldn't get the sight lines, couldn't get easy enough kills. It also helps when Patsy is shooting one of them through smoke to get the double entry to start off the round.
Does help.
Does help a little bit. Well, Get Right's able to save the Deagle and the armor.
Yeah. ESPADA wouldn't have wanted to lose 2 players there, but I feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Gonna be another save from Dignitas, I think it is, right? Force buying into that previous round, not getting the defuse, not really finding anything other than those 2 kills. Gonna be forced onto USPSs. Looks like Hulzerk has picked up a Zeus just in case, though.
Here it comes, baby. Get Right. 5 kills. Deagle. Down mid. No? Not going to try for it? Makes sense. He is the only player a day.
Yeah, if he reveals that, then I feel like the jig is up, right? Hulzerk is determined to get a Zeus kill with this setup. You know what? I want to see it. I really want to see it.
I don't think this is the angle, though.
Oh, it's not. Hell no. No. First orange. For Zeus of all things. I mean, if they push up close, then yeah, maybe. Like if they bounce onto the fence, but Forrest is going to be calling this out. Nah, Hulzerk's going to be taken down with relative ease, and it's the Mac 10s coming out clutches here. Team has found one of them, but Get Right is nowhere to be seen on the B-bomb site. I doubt he even tries for the peak here, or he goes for exit price.
So that's why I usually go for, you know, close range engagements. You know, you're talking ladder on train.
Yep.
Maybe the B or the A side apartments on Inferno. Because yeah, the entry pathway into B, you usually take the long angle. You usually clear out pool, peer into first and second oranges from that position, sort of jump up towards coffin. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh. They sails right in front of Get Right. The smoke gonna make it a bit more difficult to see Patsy.
Yeah, Sparta just really asserting their dominance right now. The fact that they're able to just hunt down these rifles, knowing, hunting down these weapons on Dignitas with these rifles, knowing that, okay, maybe you could take a rifle through to the next round, but realistically, gonna hunt them down as much as we can, assert our dominance, ensure that they can't take anything through, and if we lose a couple of players, well, we've got tons of money in the bank, it's fine. And Finnegan and Softic, look, they have still got Mac 10s. This is confidence, and something tells me a little bit over-confidence. No way in a round like this, when you have to read that your opponent's got a full buy, are you buying Mac 10s on purpose? Or at least saving them from previous rounds?
Yeah, it's safe from previous rounds, right? They're seeing if they can get an easy upgrade. An AWP, an M4, that would be ideal, but ESPADA, look at the fast play towards A. They collapse, Halzer at fourth, they're able to get the 3 frags between them. Dima only able to get the first, and well, suddenly Dexter, 1 versus 4. He hasn't even made his way out of the apartments. They all drop on out, and Dexter's like, nah, I'm good. That seemed a little too scary.
Yeah, spending a little bit too much time in there, I'd say, but doesn't want to give up anything, but what he gives up is his head. Shows it to Forrest, and he says, I'll have that one, thank you very much. 7th round for Dignitas, but still got a lot of rounds to make up. 5-round difference between these two teams now. ESPADA, they only need 4 to be able to secure this and take us 2-1 in this series.
Last buy in the tank here for ESPADA before they have to save for following rounds. The Dignitas will be in a really good position if they're able to come away with a decent amount of survivability on these players. Yeah, keep 4 up, something of the sort. Well, ESPADA, they'll spread out for a bit of map control. Banana is their focus. There is the pretty standard setup here from Dignitas, playing a bit more passively. They concede banana control as they hadn't committed a 3rd player over. In fact, Get Right even playing in front of the smoke, just to make sure that there's no funny business going on.
We're going to be deployed over on A, along with a flash as well to potentially bait out a rotate, but Dignitas not really known for taking their bait. Dima, well, he's pushed all the way through to CT, and he might be able to gain a lot of information here. I'm curious to know if anyone has suspected this, but it doesn't matter if they suspect it. With Bullseye hitting no scopes like that, he could be a solo defending player and still secure this round, it would seem. He is left on his own now. We see that 3-man rotate all the way around from the A site. Dexter's on 1 HP, Finnegan 93, 100 HP on Patsy. Bullseye, the only player on Dignitas to take any damage so far. He does get taken down, but not without taking a T with him. Finnegan on first oranges. Patsy, holding from Coffin. They know they have time to work with here. Don't have any utility, but Patsy doesn't need it. He sprays down 1, traded by Forrest, but Finnegan's there to pick up the pieces. 13-7. Surprised Finnegan didn't save that all, but not remembered it was down.
Yeah, really efficient way for ESPADA to trade. Dexter surviving on 1 HP, they use him to just flush the AWPer into a terrible position. He goes in, dies to the AWP, it's instantly traded, and then they play the 2-on-2, just playing off of one another. Initial contact taken, then they both swing to face. ESPADA tried to make that as difficult as possible for Dignitas by meeting them head-on with the fights. We saw Dignitas in a similar position before, playing a 2v2 on the retake, but they played for the bomb instead. Different approaches. Now it's just pistols for that CT side, and well, Freiburg meets an untimely end.
There was less a bullet and more the fragments from the concrete that was just tapped that entered into his head, but 5 frags to his name in this game so far, and we're 21 rounds in. Freiburg stepped up to the plate in this game. Saw a much stronger performance from him on Nuke, and Curious to see what the rest of the guys' scoreline is. See if some of the guys are following suit. I would assume we've got some standout performances. Hulzerk, if I remember correctly, he's got above 10 kills, but could be wrong.
No, I would say trust your instincts. Pretty sure you're right as well. Well, execute towards the B site. They smoke off coffins. CT spawn. Trying desperately through the smoke is Get Right, but he is taken down. Even peeking above the smoke. A bit greedy there from Finnegan, but he actually gets to the drive-by on Hulzerk after finding Forest, and Exist is left with not much to do. 5 versus 1. They know he's stuck in the close coverage. Yeah.
I don't know if he was looking around for a weapon or just thinking, well, I'm surrounded by dead bodies, I'm soon to be one as well. He had a pistol and that was it, no armor. Up against rifles. Not happening any day of the week, I don't think. Not in a 1v5. 14-7 now, a 7-round advantage for ESPADA. And this has been a great performance for them across his entire best of 3. 16-8 on their first map. They took it the distance on Nuke as well, and now they're this deep in on their 3rd and final map. I mean, you called it at the second we talked about Overpass, about this deep map pool with ESPADA, and clearly they're confident on a number of maps. Their first ban was Vertigo, so maybe one map they aren't so confident on, but 1 in 7's okay.
Yeah. Teams with deep map pools often have that insta veto. I don't think we've ever seen a behemoth tackle all 7 maps to a high level. Well, initial frag goes the way of Dignitas. They punish Patsy for getting a bit aggressive towards the apartments, but ESPADA is still lingering. They're looking for a bit of brackets control, see if they can capitalize on any sort of informational plays here from that CT side. And they may even go towards Freiburg holding the wrap.
What amount? Smokes go down into archers. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one into library as well, but yeah, this is 100% an execute now. 27 seconds on the clock. Nades come on over along with the flashes as well, but Dignitas, they're stacked up huge here, but the flashes do wonders. Get Right finds one. He only finds one though, as it's Exist and Forest. You find everything else. It looked like it was going to be a decent attempt there from ESPADA, but they cleared out the first player on the site. They wasn't able to find anything else. They do still have a buy available for this next round, though. Game is far, far from over as of yet. It says they're buying, but they're buying down quite low. Freiburg 450, Exist absolutely nothing. The lint in his pockets, but I don't think the arms dealer who you buy the weapons off in these rounds are going to accept that. Sparta's on a little bit of a risky buy here as well. Full armor across the board, but 4 AKs and a Mac 10 once again.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Dignitas have had more success in locking down the A side of the map rather than B, but ESPADA is still exploring that as an option. They're seeing if they can see equal success either direction. And with Hulzerk not getting the aggression to work into the apartments, has to fall back. Does get tagged ever so slightly, but no harm, no foul.
Threaded the needle between those two players.
Yeah.
Harder shot to miss, I think, but does it anyway. With a boost on second oranges. It seems like they've changed their mind.
No,
yeah, did they?
Yeah, he got like bugged, I think.
Oh, okay. Never seen that one before.
Yeah, it seemed like he was just kind of floating in the air for a second, but they don't get the stack to work. Freiburg, Get Right get placed in the low ground instead. Get Right having to play behind smokes as Freiburg's down. He has to remain elusive for as long as possible, allow the rotates to come through. Finnegan committing through the smoke past the molly. He's almost lined up for the planter as well. Get Right still alive and kicking, finally flushed out by Dexter, but it's been equalized. Exist has found Patsy on the lurk.
So he doesn't want to be missing any more shots. He's missed 2 already in this round, and with that smoke going down, he is going to make his life significantly harder. But he has Exist and Forest to be able to back him up. One of them's going to be pushing all the way with him from CT. The other, down banana. softing. Excuse me, Dexter, what was that spam? I have no idea the man was there, yet you still get the kill. Exist finds one. Now on a 2 versus 2. It looks like Dignitas is just going to have to leave the round. There's no chance you defuse it. But that's going to be Dexter who finds the kill. It's 15-8. Now 1 round away from leveling the scoreline to what we saw on Overpass, the 16-8 defeat of Dignitas, with them only securing 1 round on that CT side. It's been a little bit of a better CT side this time round, though.
By 1.
By 1. By the fact of numbers, 2 is bigger than 1.
Yeah. Double, some would say.
Some would say they've had double the success on the CT side. There you go, that sounds better. Actually sounds significantly worse, actually, when you think about it, but... Oh, Exist down to 46 HP. That's not where you want to be on your last-ditch effort in this game. Surely not. Get right down to 57.
If Dignitas get this, they might have a little bit more breathing room. Money is not good on either side of the coin, but no. Get right missing the shot. Freiburg compensates. Actually good too. Recovers the AWP as well. Flashed off the angle. Dexter alongside Finnegan are able to deal with that impending aggression, but they've still got another player lingering by the wayside. They've got Halzer tucked in towards the new boxes, and with attention being drawn elsewhere, they may not check for him.
Dexter takes down Forest now, brings us to a 3 versus 2. But Halzerk is the only player on the CT side that didn't have a rifle. And he's actually come out on top here with the Deagle shot. They now know that he's on the side. Somehow he finds a second. How have they secured that round? The Deagle from Halzerk is perfect. Takes down the bomb planter, punishes ESPADA for not clearing the site. And it forces them down onto an eco as well. ESPADA, they can't commit into this round.
Yeah, a great effort. A couple of Deagle kills in succession from 2 individuals from Dignitas. Freiburg, Halzer, they step up to the plate. And you can see it kind of playing out. ESPADA seemed hesitant to get too much distance on the bomb site. Oh, the nade does so much damage. Halzer, okay, up close with the... I don't know what in the world he's thinking. Gets the nade, the martyrdom almost from Halzer.
Oh, my lord.
They're just getting bombarded.
They've made the phone call. Guys, we've got enough kills. Where's my airstrike? Get it involved, and it's going to be the nades that deal the damage. They get the bomb planted, but I feel like Dima might be regretting throwing the AWP out of this map. He throws it onto the roof. I don't think Dignitas, they're going to try and find it, but it's nowhere to be seen. They can get themselves a 10th round, but so much damage from that utility in that round. 3 players been dropped down to, I think, what was it, 25 HP off 1 nade down mid, and then the martyrdom from Halzer.
See, they're really looking around for this thing. They cannot find the AWP. Like, where could it be? Is it in here?
Every angle.
If they had boosted to try and get the AWP, that would have been next level. I just can't. They just get absolutely demolished. Shrapnel everywhere.
Limping onto the site as their legs no longer work. Dignitas actually going to be taking the time out here, and I feel like it's just to kind of set their mental right, work out, okay, guys, we need to win 5 match series points to be able to not play another best of 3 later. Maybe that's their incentive. It's like, guys, I'm tired, I'm done, just please finish this. At least take us to overtime so we can secure this, and then we win the overtime. Then we're through to playoffs. You don't have to worry about the game later tonight. And it probably will be later tonight as well, as ESPADA and Dignitas with their double overtime on Nuke, and with Dignitas' double overtime on Train as well against the Vez. It has put us a little bit behind schedule. So we do apologise for anyone wanting to watch that lower bracket game between Vez and Concept. It'll be after this series.
Well, delayed as we might be, Dignitas are still alive and kicking as of yet. Like you said, 5 match and series points. This is where we saw players step up on Nuke. We've had some good impact the past couple of rounds, even when it's just been close. See if they get that same production. Molotov deep, that actually forces Halzerg back, so good recognition of what's available. Forrest didn't quite hold the angle. I don't think he saw the cross to Boiler, but unlikely to reaggress. They're giving up a lot of control to ESPADA, not fighting for brackets or banana so intently. Again, ESPADA have pretty much free reign of these areas. And they actually have a pathway to potentially split this B bomb site, and I think that's the plan.
I'm really surprised no one from Dignitas is holding this angle. That nade damage again from Dig. I mean, it's great to see they can use it, but where was this for the other 26 rounds? Now we see the push coming through from CT though. Freiburg's going to be holding the construction. White pieces, spots out 4. Only able to find 1 though, and that is the B site cleared. 3 players rotating round from Banana and Forrest. He gets shut down by Demon, not able to pull out the weapon in time. It's now going to be Halzerg, 1 versus 3. The new blood mixed with the old, and he's trying to just prove himself. He's trying to ensure that he can continue hitting these shots, and he's hit 2 of them. There's a nade available, but Finnegan says no.